Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Friday Night Dice. My name's Matt, and welcome to our Friday night campaign. Yes, you heard that right. We're playing on our Friday night campaign.
Whoop, whoop.
Ooh.
Whee!
It's been a while.
Plastic bag. In my economy.
How you guys all doing tonight?
Oh,
Hanging in there.
well, you know,
We are alive.
the world's in trouble. We're okay, I guess.
It is that.
Smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave. I hope it gets better.
I got midterms next week. That'll be fun.
Why is music not playing?
I don't know. What'd you do?
Oh, that sounds like a you problem.
I'm sorry, I didn't bring my horn, man.
Did I break it?
Yeah, me and Dustin did.
Yeah, there
I
we
haven't
go.
played in 6 years, but I can make it
It'll
happen.
be fine.
I've got a pocket trumpet upstairs.
There we go. We can get a little
Oh,
brass
I can-
trio going
And
on.
this little weird little instrument. I don't know, they're gourd with like a.
That's
I can
fine. I bet Maddie
absolutely
can make it work.
Go ham on that.
Did you say an instrument as a gourd with a...
It looks like a little gourd.
It's
and
like a
got
gourd with beads on it.
No, not
No?
even beads. It's got
Oh,
like,
it's probably like a
little flute thing.
yeah.
Oh.
But it's like a gourd. I don't know, man. My mom got it for Maddie.
There's an
Yeah,
absolute-
that sounds like something your mom would get.
Well, it's because Maddie was able to play.
There's some-
Oh, okay.
Now Maddie can play the trumpet, so she gave pocket trumpet.
Oh no.
Some wild
We have a
John's out
cornet. Got this.
I don't actually know the difference.
I won't get
We don't
into
know.
We're not going to get into it right now.
I don't think Chat's too interested.
Last we gathered, we watched as our now 4 final members of the Spread Eagles
Goddamn. We didn't even get rid of the juvenile ones.
completed
You can't get rid of me.
completed their investigation into the Order of the Quartz Claw after coming face to face with the fight-headed demon of the dragon, investigating even deeper and coming across the Drow Man, whatever heinous ritual he was attempting to summon this creature of the deep, where you guys received a bit of information on. You were able to meet back with Genera, where he awarded a few of you with a few various items and some gold, but showed you what you could have had. These various potions that could have, on a good day, made you quite a bit stronger.
Death
So-
is the answer to
Oh,
what we
that
could
helped
have
me
had.
pretty strong.
You guys could have had it. You guys would have came out on top. I
Always
wouldn't.
come
I
out on
wouldn't
top.
kill you. So
Main highlight of last session, me and Gennaro spent some time alone, and then we left.
Oh, boy.
yeah, that.
His own personal hot tub and everything.
But you guys are now spending your final days in Port Hare High on the Golden Coast, trying to finish up a commission for a steel defender for Genera, as you all bed down for the evening on this quiet night. What?
Just them scrambling over there.
I just needed my binder. What's the...
Very quiet night.
Everybody calm down.
He's done with us already.
Bunch of children.
Yes.
But eventually you guys were able to settle down for the evening in your various rooms that were given to you for the night by Genera. Where Kelric, as sleep took you, you found yourself in a strange yet familiar room. Crackling fireplace in the distance. A large upholstered chair with a familiar looking man. Almost as if you were looking into a mirror, but from the future. A man that looked much like yourself, same scar, same facial features, bone structure, but 30 or 40 years older.
Yo!
The same man that when you attempted to look into the dreams of the Asimar woman that you were trying to save, eated you out.
We've got wonderful sound effects coming from left stage.
I'll just go ahead.
So, as you look, and he stares you down, Narrows his eyes. It's time we had a chat. What is so funny? Please enlighten me.
What has happened?
I have no idea.
Oh man.
Where are you going? She can't figure out. She can't figure out where to go in this. In the stage here, the studio. She's lost. God damn. Yeah. Well, I've got a number of questions. Sure. But I imagine you have a topic of your own in mind.
Well, of course, some things can't be discussed. Unraveling the timeline and everything.
How does that work? If
you know of
divulge-
events that are to come, before they come, the timeline will begin to branch off. And if the timeline branches, it could lead to utter chaos.
And the branch would mean you wouldn't be able to help anymore.
Branch would mean I'd be cut off from you. It would not be a part of the same timeline anymore.
So it's a delicate dance then.
Ultimately, the goal is for you to create your own branch, but in the right moment, at the right time. You don't want my future. That is my goal. For you and your friends. I would have expected it to have happened already, to be honest with you. But there is something that still holds, still binds the darkness to my time. And to yours. Let me at least lighten the tension. Do you like music? And he watches, he like flickers his hand and sparkles and small little box off in the distance. That's something that's strange that you've never seen before begins playing music out of it.
I'm not a fan, but sometimes it can be distracting.
Grown to like it in my older ages, my later years. For theater of mind purposes, you see a makeshift of like a old style radio. Two large knobs on the front, these iron wrought bars that kind of go across the front, that large speaker across the back, and like a large oak stained outer shell.
Would it break the timeline if you told me who the artist was?
Suppose not, but
You willing to risk it all to tell me who the artist is then?
there are things that I don't wish to risk. And say you come in contact with them, I would not like it to be erased from my timeline.
Well, consider the mood lightened. What's next?
What I have to say, chosen my words carefully. You have met a few recent friends lately. I'm sure you can understand who I'm talking about. And what you are trying to accomplish and what they're trying to investigate coincide with each other. You should trust what they're looking into to be true. And if a said individual, and you see him like physically get like dread kind of wash over his face and eyes get a little like staring down, clearly not trying to make eye contact with you. If a certain individual,
You lost her, didn't you?
there is an execution on the date 1 month from now, and I will not specify who it is for.
I can't imagine that. Sorry.
This is the point in which if things go well, your timeline should branch. I think she is the key factor that, I mean, from what I can find at least. If she is saved, then you too can be saved. We.
Well, luckily I've got those new friends. Going to have to count on them.
See him like look off in the distance, and there's like a picture frame that's like on the wall, and you can see a elder version of yourself and Ofen standing in the background, kind of in maybe not up with him, but more like someone took a picture of a moment in time. And you can see standing next to him is Del Monte and a couple of other individuals, a dwarf and a gnome in which you don't recognize. And then you can see Tophen is off in the background talking with that Asimar woman. I had good friends as well. A couple which you know. But we weren't able to prove her innocence. I can't tell you what to look for on the off chance that that might set things apart. What I can tell you is to trust those that you've met, and that your new friends are onto something.
Well, luckily I've got a lot of help.
It seems that way.
Putting a lot of faith in me to get it right, but I have to put my faith in my friends. Carry me there.
I think they will. I can't necessarily watch from my timeline, but from what I've learned, and from what I've found of their future selves, those that still are around, they're good people.
Well, when it's nearly done, maybe I can update you and provide you the hope you're looking for.
Well, hopefully. And he kind of like looks around. You'll have to come up with this first. I call it Elsine's Chronological Fortress. A space that exists outside time.
Are you able to clamber through time by ascending and descending it?
I can catch glimpses. I wouldn't say I've necessarily mastered it. Hear a strange cat meow off in the distance. Oh, that's my familiar.
Hadn't yet picked up one of those. Wasn't sure I'd need one.
They come in handy, but be a pain in the ass at time.
One of my new friends has this really cool turtle.
Seen. You know, the person who created that and he motions over to the radio that's sitting on the shelf creates things much like that, but they're more of a not the adventuring type.
It's funny, I wouldn't even consider him the adventuring type. I think he's just wrapped up in it.
I think that's how it happens to everybody.
I wonder why he stays with us, but I love his company. For a lot of reasons. Same with your loyal friend, as I look back towards Elder Tophen.
Yes, they are. They are good people.
Insight check.
Ed,
Is there loss when he refers to group? What my insight's for? Let's do some quick math. 14.
There's
The cat scurrying down the stage.
There's an
running around the
off-putting
tower.
There's like an off-putting tone in his voice as he like stares at it, and as you kind of like look over, you can see him like intently focusing on the gnome man.
Well, let's hope I get it right.
Yes, I do hope. For all of our sake.
Seem fairly confident that this will work.
I've
You
done
can fix your own mistakes through me.
a lot of studying of my own past to find the moments where I might have stirred or went the wrong direction. And this moment in time, I think, is what broke me. It wasn't long after this that I spiraled out of control. I wasn't there for the people that needed me. If I had been, things might have been different. Outcome might have been different. If I had been there when they first met, the bringer of darkness, I'll refer to him. When they first met. If I was there the first time, perhaps we would have stopped him then.
Well, if Kosrios is right, and my friends carry me through it, then it'd be easy.
Hope so.
Let's hope this time you get it right.
And you get it right. That he snaps his fingers, they like shimmer and fade.
Learn from my mistakes. Don't repeat the past.
But with that, you go all awake. Now your new levels.
Wow.
Woo!
9, right?
Yeah.
10, I thought.
I
thought you
we
got-
went up to 9.
Thought I gave you guys.
I mean, I'll take 10.
Yeah.
No.
We're
Okay,
level
9.
10.
9
We're-
up.
No.
Nope, 9.
No, we were level
Darn
10.
it.
Guys, we forgot
We
to
did-
level up to 10 last
Oh,
time.
we did this one to
Guys.
ourselves. Oh.
No.
It's a
Over here
computer
again.
What did we
glitch.
say?
That's right, I did fat finger the 10 and accidentally hit 9. I just
God, I feel
realized.
like the kid that's like, excuse me.
I know you guys
teacher,
just got
it's
access
like,
to
oh,
teleportation circles, so
You are that kid.
I'm so sorry.
that's what I'll put out there.
Yeah, we did straight up just go, excuse me, isn't there homework due today?
Excuse me, weren't you gonna give us a quiz?
Oh.
Thanks. We
What the hell?
Don't be a dick.
else would I
Oh boy.
As you guys awaken in your various different private rooms, a few of you a little more well rested than others. You guys can catch the faint scent of honey and cinnamon on the air as breakfast is being cooked down the hall.
Add all of the gold ones for now.
Sure. Oh, well, shoot, I guess I'll go ahead and hop on out of bed. Give Spud a couple bumps in his shell, tighten some of the screws in my arm, and head downstairs for breakfast.
It's all one level.
Oh,
You
okay.
don't-
Then I'll just go down the hall.
You don't take your arm off at night, you leave it on.
It depends.
I really figured like he would have to take his arm off, because I get kind of uncomfortable having that.
Honestly, that might be easier, because then you could just lay on that side.
Well, then I'd kind of have like
Wouldn't have to deal with
the
your arm going to sleep.
Then I'd have the gaping socket though, so I don't know.
Ugh.
I mean, it's all mechanical. There's nothing
Me
fleshy
too, but
looking
for
at.
very different reasons.
Say it.
I might take it off when it's cold.
And with that, we're fading to black.
But yeah, I'll head down the hall for breakfast.
Come on, man. He set me up with gaping socket. What am I supposed to do?
As you all leave your rooms and begin strolling down the hallway towards the banquet room, that small meeting room where you guys met Kosrias and you had your dinner with Genera, you look in there and you can see there are 3 different platters all set with the same type of pastries out, and there are small little like silver bowls of a warm honey in the middle. You can see there are these little stones that kind of glow a bright red around them, that keeping them perpetually warm, and each of them just smell. Whole room smells of like cinnamon bread. See Genera sitting at the far end of the table. Good morning! Please, all of you, help yourselves. This is made by our wondrous cook. She baked them, I would say all morning, but she does this in like mere minutes.
She makes all this in minutes?
We have a lot of very talented people here at the White Griffins Trading Company.
Oh, I don't doubt that. I'm gonna go ahead and scoot an entire tray of pastries and a bowl of honey over to my seat.
As you like go to push it and like pull it towards you, the stones don't burn on the honey.
Huh. Genera, what kind of stones are these?
Called burning stones.
So they don't fit the name.
Interesting.
It's more like, watch. Tosses one to you. Catch it. You can feel it warm in your hand, but you can also feel like a draw to it. Almost like if you fed arcane energy into it, something would happen.
Cast fireball. No, I'm kidding. Just blow it all
You're gonna
up.
burn all
Well,
this bread.
Lock the doors, start a fire, see who makes it out.
Genera
It's a
is
lottery.
the only one that makes it out.
Man, I got a teleportation circle. Just give me 10 minutes.
Yeah, 10 minutes.
Got this.
But as you like feed just a little bit into it, you can feel it get ever hotter.
Wow, those are really nifty, Genera. Reminds me of something I picked up in the Ivory Coast, and I'm kind of dig into my pockets a little bit, pull out my chilling orb, and toss it to him.
Ha!
It's a little along the same vein.
Same creator.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I actually got to speak to her while we were in the coast.
She is a very talented arcanist
She's very knowledgeable.
and a good friend.
Oh,
I
small world.
love the Nevermelt Cafe.
Oh, their special is to die for.
It is probably the most relaxing place I've ever been, aside from the Feywild, but parts of that are not very relaxing either.
Oh, so I've heard.
So are you all setting off today? Are you going by travel, or, and looks to you, Kelrick, by other means?
I don't know. I don't think we. Well,
Well, I suppose.
we have to finish your project.
Yeah, we gotta go ahead and get started here.
You wish? It was under my impression that time was of the essence, and this can wait.
I correct me if I'm wrong, Genera. I think the arrangement we reached was that we had about 10 days or so to at least get a moving kind of skeletal structure, and then we were going to teleport over. I could be remembering that incorrectly.
That is correct, but as I said, our mutual friend, who has already ventured towards the city, will be awaiting for you guys, and I don't want to keep Kosrias waiting 10 days for my personal pleasure, as much as I would love to have my Steel Defender.
Of course, as long as the extra platinum charge is not incurred on such priority a task, then that would be fine.
Let's just add an addendum. I'll be in contact with Kosrias. If you guys decide to not deliver after you're done, an extra charge will be incurred.
Of course. I intend once we've at least got our immediate business in Zakarat wrapped up, that I'll be able to take some time to get to work on that. Shoot, while I'm in Zakarat, I'll have access to my personal workshop and all of my tools, so I could probably expedite the process a little bit.
I
even.
would hope so.
Oh man, Spud, can you imagine that? We're gonna be in the workshop again here soon. Gonna chirp a little bit and get a a little excited at the thought of being able to have any oil whenever he wants.
You know,
I'm
I've
imagining Spud like on his back, under a tap, just like.
You're wagging his little tail.
I've never been to the New Beginnings Corporation, but I do hear that their factory is massive.
One of the largest and most refined in all of Zachariah.
Well, I've heard, which is impressive.
Would you ever be interested in a tour sometime? I'd be happy to bring you along.
When more pressing matters are not on my plate,
Of course.
I unfortunately have to deal with some things towards the north. An old colleague is storing up trouble. You guys actually would probably be amazed to see him. He is known as a Loxodon, a elephant folk, massive people, massive race, not common in this land.
I think I've only heard rumors. Very intelligent folk.
They hail from the Ivory Islands on a far-off land. But this one is an old colleague that we once worked on a job together. We didn't always see eye to eye, and he went off on his own. That's something I have to deal with.
Well, hopefully you're given the option for diplomacy and things can work themselves out. That'd be really unfortunate if things came to the blade.
We'll see. He was eccentric folk.
Yo, nah, kidding.
You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah. Got notes in here somewhere.
No. Hey, don't you hate? Shelby has a newfound hate for a NPC I created. Do you guys want to know his name? Because it's fucking amazing.
What is it?
God awful.
His name is Gustav Wizendorf Fuldifor the Magnificent.
Oh, that's awesome.
No, it's not. He's a fuck.
Oh, I can imagine this guy sitting up in his tall, slinky wizard tower working on who knows what. Oh, that's awesome.
He's a fucking great NPC. Based him off a character I read in the book. Fucking hilarious.
You can't read.
Fucking savage. Jesus. Also, I'd just like to point out we have roughly 18,000 gold worth of party funds.
Fucking mint.
That's cash money. Looking over there like Scrooge McDuck. Just hanging out. Swimming in it.
Swimming in it, he says.
And most of it's in platinum.
Just up to
Man,
the chin.
that's juicy.
Up to the chin in the coinacy.
I'm gonna start scarfing down some of these pastries, just like full on dipping half of them in the honey and just going for it.
Go for it.
Table manners be damned.
DM, because it's coming up, remind me if you can, because I probably have it written down, but I can't fucking find it. Which teleportation circles do I know? I know I have one in the White Griffin Trading Company.
You have one in the White Griffin's Trading Company, and you have one in Zachrat.
That's what I thought. I just didn't want to write it down until
You have one in Zachary.
He showed it to me. And the one in the White Griffin Trading Company is
Genera's personal.
inside of Genera's safe room.
Basically. It's not inside the room that he showed you that was lined with lead, but just outside it.
Not the boss's office.
It's his office. He did not lie to you.
Well, I think when we finish for breakfast, if that's the way we want to go, let's all gather around and I can take us there. Start and see if we can meet up with Kosrias.
Sounds reasonable to me.
You know you can take a moment to breathe.
Look,
You don't have to.
it was a long night last night.
You're carb loading.
Yeah, carb loading.
Yeah.
We got a long couple days ahead of us.
When are we going back to the horses?
What horses, Safari?
Not the ones we abandoned to die in the woods,
No.
but the ones that we.
Left.
And not the ones we left for the sun deed.
What?
I think. Oh, that was a long
The
time
ones
ago.
we left at the stable outside of the capital.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go back to them.
Every time we walk into a town, the horses that all for sale at the stables just start sweating.
To be fair, we could use the keys, get back to the ruins, a small day's travel back to get our horses, and then teleport from there to Zakarat.
I could just build more horses.
But I think the horses are probably happier at the stable. We paid for like a long time,
There,
right?
Avaria, you didn't like the
I
idea of me
honestly
building
don't
horses.
remember.
Neither do I.
Oh.
We're gonna say we did.
If we didn't, we'll make good when we get back.
I bet those horses are eating good and living full, plump horse lives.
Plump horse
Yeah,
lives?
because they're being well fed, well taken care of.
Hell?
Assuming everything's kosher after the capital got blown up.
Ah, that's a good point.
Okay, so
Darn, that's cool.
since you guys are making me abandon my babies, you guys give me one of the big motherfucking horses we saw.
You know what, Avaria, once we got the money and we're in the right place, you can get the biggest motherfucking horse you want.
I don't think
And then we'll
we want
probably
to
leave
be
them behind.
dragging horses.
We're not going to yet.
To Sakura.
I'm
That's
just
fine,
saying,
when we don't
when
need it,
the
we'll put it in the
time
pocket
comes and
mark.
I'm ready.
Maybe once we rescue Kelrick's friend.
That's fine. That's what I said. Not right now, but I'm just
That's
saying.
kind of our priority.
That's
Also, I don't know if
Those
we're
are
able
my
to
friends.
teleport a giant horse like that.
I was starting to look.
Hmm.
How big is
Eh,
the
we
horse?
worry out the details later, it's fine.
Yeah,
I'm assuming it's a large creature.
We're gonna wait. I will get my big motherfucking horse file. Home slice.
Speaking of which, when we go to Zakarat, where do we want to go first?
Your mom's.
That hits.
Avaria.
that hits
Oh
home.
my goodness.
Lower
That's
eye for my
a
beard roll
that's a
DM.
couple days out, but
Oh,
we
for
could
your
certainly
border
go.
Beard or your belted dwarven kind.
Sandwiches?
Go ahead, roll.
No, Avaria, my
Low.
mother's been dead for the better half of 5 years.
I'm 14, so yeah.
I've already didn't know.
As you guys look, Tophin has like a very scruff, well-trimmed beard that's starting to grow in.
Ooh, baby.
Tophin!
Ow, ow.
I like it.
Used to it.
Represent. I wish I could have that sort of.
So here's the thing about teleportation circle. I can take as many creatures as can make it through. These aren't building. Just like, bam, horse. You know, can you imagine
It's
like
gonna get through a door.
Can you imagine like if I climb up the tallest tower in Zakarat, or I make a teleportation circle up there and I teleport a bunch of cows up there, like how much trouble that's gonna be. That's the senior prank, you know.
That's what they do at the what's the academy in the Empire? I can't
Okay,
remember.
so-
That's their
I
senior
thought you already
prank.
pulled the
Tiger.
senior prank on like
Yeah,
the
the
tallest
tiger,
building
the
in
academy.
Zakarat.
They just take
No, that's just a terrorist attack. It's
Oh man.
world of difference.
Man, that's a low blow.
Senior prank, city's on fire. Shit.
Oh, those pesky wizards.
Yeah.
Darn those pesky wizards.
Damn teenagers.
Yeah, Kelrick was like, "Who wants fireball? I'll just burn the whole city with a building."
Alright, so where do we need to go first?
Your mom.
We
You don't want
Cool.
to share.
Say, we've got a lot of mommy issues in this group. None of that sounds like a good idea.
we
Please
could
don't use the phrase "mommy issues."
I never have issues. Never mind.
we could head to New Beginnings, and we could kind of take up base in there. Kelrick, if you've got anywhere that you feel like would be good, we could do that. There are a couple parts of the city that I need to stay out of, but other than that, should be fine.
Why is that
Interesting.
Weenie Hut Jr.?
I would love to know more.
That's a long story, but to keep it short, I think I've mentioned this before. I had a couple tie-ins with the prominent gang in Zakarat, and after I left, I started to stir up some trouble. So they probably have some level of coin over my head.
Like my kind of people.
More or less.
Do we need to broker some sort of peace while we're there?
I got this.
Not necessarily. Genera, if I remember correctly, you mentioned, or one of your friends has mentioned that you guys are investigating some of the activities the Blood Lotus gang is involved in.
That is actually part of why you guys are going.
I literally want to be a part of that game because of that name.
They... Of course, at least I'm sure you know, there's a criminal underground that runs through the city of Zakarat. And it seems the Blood Lotus gang may be not directly involved, but were used by someone. That's the part we're still trying to... That's the part we're trying to figure out. They were used by someone for whenever this attack happened. Your friend, if we believe it to be true, was framed. They were used as a distraction for the city guard to keep them away from the building. Make it easy for whoever needed to get in to infiltrate the building. Just so happens that your friend here happened to be there at the same time.
Are you implying that the Blood Lotus gang are responsible for blowing up the clock tower?
I don't think they were directly responsible. I think they were hired to do a job that distracted the city enough of the city guard to keep the place not under watchful eye for the...
Told her it was too easy, so that makes a lot of sense.
No, let me check the one down here.
Got a whole stack of binders. Studio.
Let's see.
Poorly written down.
Let's see. I think that's Sarah.
Man's digging right now.
I have questions for the camp. I need to remember.
Yeah, this one's you.
Alright.
Set it on the center. Short arms.
Kelric, that's 2 inspirations for you and 5 inspirations for me.
Holy
1 for each of the other 3.
Wow.
Thanks, chat.
What is this?
The verbiage says, Kelric wants someone in the Hall of Fallen Heroes. Here's his chance.
Roger that.
Elric, it sounds like our pasts may be a little more intertwined than I'd originally thought. Been out of the gang life for a while, but have been...
Notes of
Gang.
Go ahead and roll a history check for me, because you might have been a part of them, or at least in the city in that time,
Thug
just to
life
see
did
if you
choose
remember what happened.
Sure. Well, I was out of town when the clock tower,
That's correct. So
Exploded.
you were no longer a part of them.
but I will roll a history check to see what I know.
Golden Harp
Let's
is
see.
Cress's goal.
The Golden Harp is the main hub tavern in Boltonport, which is where Cress's...
I have it written as Shrimp Port. So, Shrimp Port Bar for the morning.
I really want to go to Shrimp Island.
Like a,
Literally
This-
my notes.
like a
is
Long
what you'll
John
fight.
Silver's.
That's
We already
fine.
fought that.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I've had enough
On a bigger
traveling.
scale. I will print it bigger.
DM, I got a 27 on a history check.
Dead name.
The rumors that you heard, a lot of the newspapers that went around and what went around was about the clock tower, but in like the back pages where people would talk smaller, less important stuff, it seems that a hit on the Innovation Covenant itself, on their main hub, where a group of gang members infiltrated and stole something that was not revealed to the public, but was also never recovered.
Okay. I don't know, I'm thinking back to what was going on. In the papers, they said something was stolen from the Innovation Innovation Covenant headquarters. That's certainly not a coincidence. Why would they not have revealed it to the public?
Jim, do I have any idea of the sort of inventions that have come out of the Innovation Covenant over the prevailing years?
I mean, yes, you know...
The name obviously implies. I mean, Keller's not a complete dummy.
Yeah, so I mean, they brought around such things as not necessarily widespread, but things that they have provided are a D&D version of indoor plumbing. They have arcane runes drawn into stones, much like the burning stones and the cold stones, that whenever you activate them, it makes the water that comes out of the tap hot. They have
Wow.
the same thing as far as ovens. They use a similar version of burning stones, like Genera has shown you, but on a larger, grander scale to create actual working ovens. You know, things to make life easier. But on the opposite end of that, the Innovation Covenant has also provided large weapons. You know that there are large Aether cannons that sit at the 8 different corners of Zakrat, as it sits in like this octagonal shape. And each of these large Aether cannons was a product of the Innovation Covenant.
The other thing I'll ask, just for my sake, because we're going into Zakrat, and Colin and I are going to have to do Dustin, I'd say Dylan. Dustin and I are going to have to do a lot of keeping things straight as far as what you've innovated upon the city. How close is the Elsine Lyris household to the Innovation Covenant?
So they kind of sit in their different quadrants around the outside. There's the Architect
I
Covenant.
meant relationship-wise.
Oh, how close?
Yeah, like how close is, let's say, Qatar tied up in that?
Your family's more part of the Architect Covenant, so they're. I mean, roll a history check for me.
Mm, 15.
There is definitely some relations between them, but the Architect Covenant and the Innovation Covenant aren't necessarily on good terms with each other. I mean, there's no bad blood there, but it's not like for instance, like the Smiths and the Architects get along greatly. You know, the Enchanters and the Innovation Covenant get along greatly.
Okay. I will say, let's keep away from the Architect Quadrant. I'm sort of known.
I would imagine. DM, what is the relationship between the Architect and the Innovation Covenant?
That's what I just asked.
Oh,
That
I'm
is.
sorry. Sorry, I was a little spaced out in my binder.
You're fine.
Okay. Anything else we need to do? Or are we underway?
Go.
The only covenant that you guys would know of that has on good standing terms with everybody is the Neoteric Covenant, because the Neoteric Covenant doesn't necessarily present any goods or services. They are the idea people. They come up with theories and ideas for new things, and then essentially sell those ideas to basically the highest bidder of each of individuals in each covenant. Once they come up with the ideas and they draw out and they do all the math, they do all the thinking on everything that's needed for it, but they're not
They're the dreamers.
yeah, they're the people that come up with the ideas.
Man, half of those think tanks. You know, I can't stand half of those think tanks that come out of the Neoteric Covenant. Some of it's really great stuff. Some of it, a lot of hoop. Anyway.
Look at the cauldron calling the kettle black. You're a walking think tank, Alan.
I am a walking amalgamation of practicality.
Right. I'm gonna start working on the circle.
What?
I will take the time to, I guess, somewhere that Genera doesn't mind, begin to draw out an arcane circle, inscribing the runes, indicating along the ley lines for the circle in Zakrat.
Okay.
And as everybody good?
Everybody have all their gear? Are we good to go?
Oh, I forgot my battle axe.
Quickly.
You don't have a battle axe.
Oh, a war hammer. Wrong character. Okay, run and grab it.
Look. And I'll finish the final inscription.
Okay.
Wait, forgot something.
Nope,
Okay.
it's gone.
Swinging it around. Look what I
You're such a pain in the butt.
got. Married me.
Is it?
What? We have like time, or is it like instant? We all just need to be.
Yeah,
No,
you've got
you-
5 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, Spud.
Like, there's the rift right there. Go, 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 go.
Spud's gonna kind of shake in his shell a little bit. He's gonna hop in.
It's gonna come out disassembled.
Can I
Oops,
put-
fucked
is
it
gonna
up.
be cold? Can you put my toe in to see how warm it is?
Not that you care.
That's a little racist in D&D term.
It's
Snow elf.
true.
Well, true. You do have like resistance cold damage, don't you?
Yeah, it is.
Oh well.
I'm not being an ass. She genuinely is resistant to the cold.
It's an elf thing, Kelrick. You wouldn't understand.
Yeah.
As you all jump through Kelrick's circle, and there's like a blue flash, and within almost an instant, you're hurtled through time and space and eventually land. Yes, just like that. There's like a small pop, and you just land. You're looking around, and someone turns around.
Who are you? Who are you?
My name is Zappos.
Nice to meet you, Zappos. You got a problem with people teleporting in? That's what the circle's for.
Lifts his shirt and like reveals a gun. Should I?
For
I'm
him.
gonna roll up my sleeve. Should you?
Hold on. Let's
Everyone stop.
back it up. Back it up a bit.
Put it away.
Avarga.
Sorry
You
for
first.
the.
Yeah.
I'll put my
Pulls it
sleeve.
out, pulls the hammer back. You put yours away.
Oh, stop.
What is the makeup of the room we're in?
As you look around, there are like these large white pillars on each end, and there's like a small little statue in each of the ones just depicting various different random heroes. And you see these banners kind of hanging around of the White Griffin's trading company around this outside of the room.
Oh,
Genera sent us.
sorry. We've been.
I really wish he'd tell me these things. You're looking at like this like very tiny halfling man that's kind of like sitting there, and he's got white, very bushy eyebrows and a long sideburns that like kind of come down but don't go into a beard.
Gross.
Dig it.
What?
Sorry to.
Chops.
Sorry to startle you, friend, and sorry we're so jumpy. It's been a long couple days.
I'm not sorry.
Alan Brismine, pleased to make your acquaintance.
Nice to meet you.
We with permission, we might be coming through every once in a while, on business, for the White Griffin.
A bit of word of warning would be nice.
Ooh, I have whatchamacallit, so I can talk to you.
I don't want to talk to you.
Now
Good.
that,
You're
I'll
a
make sure to
friend.
let Genera know.
now that
next
we've
time.
met you, I believe we have the ability to let you know when we're coming from now.
No, it's
We'll be sure to let
Ring, ring,
Genera
ring, sure I am.
know that you'd like some warning next time. Next time we're off on the Golden Coast. Can you tell us exactly where we're at right now, friend?
And, like, looks around within the White Griffin's trading company.
Yes.
Location in Zakarat.
Thank you. Which
I think
covenant
he more
of
means where
Zachariah?
in the city.
Oh. Well, we're in the Waring Market,
Oh.
That's like
Central City.
Thanks.
Appreciate the heads
you
up.
want my cloak?
It actually could be quite helpful. This is where I caused a lot of trouble
I also have
as a teenager.
a royal dress.
I wasn't a fan
Very
of most
formal.
of the traveling merchants because I kind of targeted them. But there might be some merchants that are here year round and not for the actual festival. That, yeah,
That's
appreciate that.
You want the dress too?
No, I think this probably could be enough. Yeah.
here. Spud, stick by Kelrick as long as we're here in the Architect Company.
It's gonna draw a bit more attention, wouldn't you think?
Kelrick.
I know anything.
I can't remember how to say your last
Arrows
name.
workings here?
But I don't think that they'd be looking for you with a giant
Make a
mechanical
history
circle
check.
next to you.
8.
Nothing you can recall,
quite a
nothing that
different
you
vibe,
you
the-
know of.
Yeah.
Swashbuckling
Wasn't my end
wizard.
of it. So.
We'll be all right. I'll just keep my head down.
Yeah,
I mean, we
guess.
can really get all the
course you
attention
will.
off of you.
Oh, I don't think we need to pull any stunts like we did back in, oh, what was the name of that harbor? I can't remember.
Are you guys a bunch of troublemakers?
No,
Not exactly.
No, we're sweet.
I get.
Adventure.
She for sure is a troublemaker.
I
Eh,
am one of a kind. I am a treasure.
Yes, you are.
Adventurers, troublemakers.
I think the fact
it's a
that
fine
Gennaro
line.
likes us.
I can assure you well that my troublemaking days are long gone and over with.
Well, that's reassuring.
Don't cause any trouble for you.
Thank you, friend. Can you point us towards the door?
The only one out.
Thank you.
You ain't gotta be a smart ass.
And you don't have to be a rude ass.
Oh, I wasn't.
Hey,
You showed your gun first.
you guys are acting like you're married. Can we just move along here?
Maybe we are.
Whoa.
Excuse me. I have never met you before in my life.
Hey.
Pardon me?
Inside check.
And you're not my type.
Oh, good, because you ain't mine either.
I'm gonna start moseying on toward
Too
the door.
tall.
Thank you again. Sorry for the startle.
Oh, he doesn't like tall ladies? He's not a man of taste. If he doesn't want to get stepped on, he's not a man of taste.
Oh my.
Alright,
Just being honest.
Mara's
All
gonna
right.
skip happily away.
Go.
All right. Where to, guys?
Loose his shirt. Yeah, that's right. You leave.
Perhaps your covenant first, if that's what you think, or we can try to meet up with Costa Rios. I know that he's waiting.
Would we have any way
I'm gonna try to
to
slap
send him a
a
message to
piece of
meet
paper that
us?
says "kick me"
somewhere
on the back of this guy.
No, it's
Yeah.
On my way out
Wait.
the door.
Like a sleight of hand check.
Can I assist in this?
No.
Distract him on the way out.
Sad. Only an 18.
13. You like go to like slap him on his back. Are we fucking children?
Oh, that would be gross.
So when you're on the road for a while, you gotta pass the time.
Goodbye, friend.
What?
Just
You
like
gotta put pranks on
he
people.
takes out a little silver box, and as he opens it, a flame appears.
That was rude.
You need a box to make fire.
Mara's ready, like,
Try to
going
put a
out
sticky
the
note
door.
on his back.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to open the door and kindly.
So as you go down the hallway and you pass by numerous other different statues, and you even pass by a statue of what looks familiar to Kel, but in a smaller, very younger-looking version of herself. You also see Genera in a much younger-looking person. You continue down the hall. Eventually, you exit out into a large, open warehouse sort of station. You see a few different rows of various different items of various different sizes. Nothing that looks too interesting. It seems like this is just a general warehouse. It has a bunch of general supplies. And eventually, you exit out into the building, passing by the small little desk at the front where you can see people are buying various different things. You exit out into the Waring Market. You can see the large... Let me find a different track for this.
Need some dubstep, steampunk.
Also, it's like
I'll go with this one.
boss fight music.
You guys step out and you can see the large, 100-foot tall stone walls surrounding the city of Zakarat. At the 8 different corners, as you look around, are the large different aether cannons that were once described to you. You can see them rebuilding a large tower in the center of the town. Large scaffoldings up each different side, people tirelessly working at them. There's strands going across the different lamps, where you can see these small little glass-like bulbs in each one are glowing. There are no braziers at the corners. No cobblestone streets like you normally see. These are well-paved stone streets. Small little sewer outlets across it that lead down into the depths of underneath Zakarat. There are different copper pipes and steel pipes running from the different buildings. You can see bits of steam and smoke coming from the various different places where you would normally expect to see a white smoke from like a fireplace or something, but this is very different. It's steam, and the air does not smell of a burning fire. You can see people running with different, very almost steampunk, yeah, that's the best word to describe it, like clothes running around. You can see the guards that are kind of walking, huh? Yes.
That's cool.
You can see people running to and from, and the guards are kind of walking through, and the guards are accented with like these bronze and gold gears on their shoulders and their backs. You hear the sound of children running through, the smell of oil heavy in the air.
That can't be helped.
Spud's gonna start wagging his tail.
You guys like to go?
Away, you two.
I'm lost.
It feels
Where are we going?
good to be
Family
from-
reunion?
Real quick, this
See.
would be the best place to acquire it. I need you to get crystal orb about this size, 1,000 gold pieces.
Sure.
Find it.
Let's see.
I don't want to be interacting with any merchants
Wait.
in case they
What else do
I
we
got
need?
you.
I am not
just make it snappy. Yeah?
super well versed in the warring market, but if I had to guess, we could
I've got it
probably get
already,
what
don't
you're
worry.
looking for over
This isn't the right field.
there. And I'll point kind of to a general direction in the market. Say, I don't know, to the left of where we are now.
Say that one more time. Sorry.
I'm not an expert in the warring market here, but if I had to guess, we could probably find what you're looking for roughly over there.
I know where it is. I caused a lot of trouble here as a teenager. I know the merchants. I just don't want to be interacting with them.
Of course.
Well, if you guys just want
Right.
to chill here, point me
Is
in the
that
direction, and I'll
Yeah.
go get it.
I can go with you, Token.
15
that's fine.
stalls down. You're on the right.
Done. Stall he needs.
What are you looking for exactly?
Material component for scry.
Just a crystal ball.
It's a crystal ball, silver mirror with 1,000 gold pieces, or a font of holy water. Like, I don't know.
Sure.
I was just thinking of like
Let's get a travel font fully.
yeah, that sounds like a little sloshing around all the time.
Sure. Easy enough to do.
Hell, dude.
Unless you want to RPA, you can easily find it.
No.
Okay.
If I see anything that intrigues me as I look.
Perception check.
Balls.
Nothing that you really see that stands out as interesting.
I can't believe a 15 is a shitball on your score meter.
I rolled below 10. Fine, I pay 1,000 gold.
Hey. I want somebody found later. Jeez. Okay, now I need a cut of every single one of your guys' hair. No, I'm kidding. Need a fingernail from you. Hitting. And if I have something of yours, actually, it would be easier for me to locate you if we ever got separated, but that's a decision you all are free to make.
I can also. By 2.
Yes.
Got a deal, can
Oh, no.
I don't even try.
I have a coupon for 20% off.
you? Come on! Let me a Karen.
You tell me,
literally have 20,000 gold.
Matt, you really telling me here in the Warring Market we can't use our Kohl's cash?
The coupon moms of Zachariah are fierce
So
out
I
here.
walk back carrying them, like at chest
Don't.
height.
Oh,
God damn.
There's like a little kid that like looks over you and he's like,
Ari's just playing like
Is that me?
guard dog.
Just a little Aiden.
Alright, I got them.
Yeah, I
yes, you do.
appreciate it, and I'll just put it in my backpack. Rest of my kit.
Get into the haversack.
Long dog.
you like go to put it in one of the smaller pockets that doesn't really fit and then just shoves in there.
Okay, I can tell Kosvias to meet us somewhere. Or we can go to your covenant. It's up to you.
Could you meet us out in front of the New Beginnings building?
Yeah, we do have a spot. I will cast Sending to Kosvias.
Okay.
And I'll say we've arrived in Zakurat.
Let's see.
Can you meet us?
There's an alleyway out back that we could meet.
We have a spot.
Okay.
Can you meet us at the spot just to the south of the New Beginnings Corporation? You know the one I'm talking about.
Outside the copper mug.
Yeah, that's the one. Well, I say to the ether.
Yeah.
I'll just kind of be like, yep, that's it. He knows. Made this town my bitch back in the day. I know these streets, baby.
I'll be
We were
there.
quite similar.
Yeah, there's a reason why I'm keeping my head down in these markets. Spent a lot of time
I would
running
never
from
take
guards.
you all to my home.
Copper mug.
We can
huh?
go to my house.
We cannot go to my house.
We cannot go to your house right now.
No, No, we could, technically.
We could if we were to get stabbed by
Try.
1,000 ice shards.
Look, y'all may have mommy issues. I probably have to check. We probably have some daddy issues right now. Considering, probably got some daddy issues. But I don't know. And you know what? I ain't got time to find out.
I mean, I was blessed with both.
Oh,
I get it.
Blessed, huh? Blessed in air quotes. Gotcha.
So, Amaria's really playing like hard dog right now, to where like they even like just glance. What the fuck are you looking at?
Goddamn.
You would remember from your days when you would run from guards and traveling throughout the city that an easy way to get around unseen is to travel through the sewers.
Yeah. But we're not like, I'm just keeping my head down.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
Let Navaria.
I'm gonna try to trudge through the sewers unless we feel like we need to.
Last
Well,
time
in
we were in the
Assassin's
sewers, things
Creed,
didn't
we're
go
like in
very
a
well.
loose group and you're just in the middle of it.
Yeah. Hire some courtesans along the way.
How are you making a loose group with 3 people now?
Well, we're just kind of like in,
Oh, okay.
Triangle.
yeah, like a
Hard
a
is on the
very
right.
wide V. Kind of like it's
Understood.
pretending it's fake.
Christ. I'm not that well known here.
So as you guys
Besides, got a fresh new scar.
make a general stealth check for me, just because you're trying to stay unseen. Just Kelrick. Just Kelrick.
You have any idea how bad at those are?
Maybe that's a good thing.
You know
We
what?
need our armor.
Make
clanking
it
around
deception.
Extra on a bad roll.
You want it to be deception
Make it deception.
as well, or
No,
not?
just deception.
Not me.
sloppy 20.
Do I?
19 plus 1.
God.
I'm a lucky man.
You are able to enough resist the urge to kind of look up and kind of see what's changed as you walk through. So you keep your head down. You follow the footsteps of your friends, and eventually, as you guys make it to the edge of the Waring Market, and more into the living districts of the Inner Gear.
Edging to the inner gear. Got it.
We could put a leash on you.
What the hell? No.
That's kinky.
Oh man.
I mean,
bedroom.
I don't know if you can legally do that out in the streets here.
I mean,
You're
Kelrick,
not
if you
saying
really
anything.
want to.
That would be a bedchamber
Boy,
activity.
you can take that up with Zachariah Legal. That's not me.
It's not legal.
I do think that would cause some attention from the guards, though.
Just a dad.
I have one should we need.
Oh,
Oh, brother. Oh, boy.
Actually,
Ah!
you 3 roll a d20 for me, because
I don't know
I
if,
wanna
I don't
know
know if
what
high is
Matt
good, but that's
does.
good.
I want to know what Matt decided was happening as we're talking about leashes.
Oh. 15.
no, I was thinking about something that I should have done, but
11.
it wouldn't have happened just yet. What was it?
15.
11s.
Okay, you're above a 10. You're good.
Oh.
Good.
What was gonna happen when we were below 10?
50-50.
Continue.
Yeah, I'm just going.
No, I'm afraid.
Bud's kind of excited. He's heading up towards the front. He can tell we're home.
Eventually, you guys make it to the Inner Gear, just on the outsides of the Waring Market, and you make your way down the back alleys, kind of following down the various different trails and taking the most inconspicuous route. But you, just to give a better paint of the picture, the inner circle is where the Waring Market is, the most innermost circle around where the Soto Timekeep used to sit. On the outer sides of that, there's a large ring where the residential districts of those that are not a part of a covenant kind of live. And those are maybe like some, not necessarily lower income areas, but not people that are not so well off. And then there are long, almost residential alleyways. There's long, almost rows that go down in between each covenant that section off the various different covenants where people that also live in residential areas. One of these is the Copper Mug, in which you and Kosrias have met on more than one occasion. The Copper Mug sits nestled between the Innovation and the Smith's Covenant. It was far enough away from home, but close enough to where everyone else could meet, that it was the most ideal location to meet, but it is in one of these extra rows of the Inner Gear that you guys are able to find a base of operations, a place where you can inconspicuously meet. But it's a large city. It takes you guys maybe 45 minutes to meander down and find your way over to...
By the way,
the copper mug. Just around back, you circle around an alleyway. You can see Kosrias wearing his large, almost fedora-like hat. Pulls it off. Didn't think
Yeah,
it would
he
be
does.
great. Didn't think I would want to be noticed.
It's a little inconspicuous. Worth the effort, right?
We used to cause many a headache for many different.
Yeah. I couldn't even do much except for just knock shit over and run back then.
I think any of us could do that much.
Elitris always had a knack for it.
That she did.
Speaking of,
Yes. We. I've been investigating the book. I'm running out of leads. Without knowing what they stole that night, I don't know why they would have been after. What they would have been after and why they would have been there, but I do know that there was a benefactor. Not traced down who it was quite yet. Maybe you guys will be. Yeah, that's my dog. What I do know is that there was a benefactor who hired the Blood Lotus King to steal whatever this is. Now, whether whatever they stole is a part of the grand plan, I have not discerned yet. But I think if we were able to infiltrate the Blood Lotus, or find whatever they stole, perhaps we can trace it back to whoever hired them. Hired them? I think we can figure out whatever truly happened.
I could probably help with that. I've got a couple of old contacts from the Blood Lotus Gang. I don't know how willing they'd all
Are they
be.
gonna?
Well, I've already semi-infiltrated them myself. A low-ranking member.
just a tip.
See.
But if you have ends, please follow them.
I will certainly try, although I can't say my strongest contact and I have left off on the best of terms.
I will say that the Baron and the council that runs the city, they do a well enough job. But as those that are from here, I mean, if you remember, they do a well enough job for those that are part of the Covenants. Those of us that are here and a part of the slums, that are a part of the lower end areas, tend to get forgotten about.
It's very unfortunate.
And it is because of that that essentially these lower areas around this area have fallen under gang. Guards don't put here as often, and those that do are paid off by said gangs. Currently, here between the Innovation and the Smith Cup, and between the Enchanter and Smith's Cup, Blood Lotus territory.
Zavaria's still wearing loud as fuck armor.
Probably.
Yes.
Well, if we're going to be trying to move sight unseen, we might need to change that. There might be plenty around here that used to maybe get rid of the noise.
Your mind? Easy enough.
Very
I think
least.
I know people that could probably build us something.
Why don't we do that first then?
Of course.
Question, Colin. How poorly could this go if we meet contacts?
Hmm. At best,
You're gonna see you and be like,
I think we could get the information that we need. At worst, I could have a dagger in my throat. Very quickly. But him and I do go way back. Maybe there's still some friendship that hasn't been lost.
oh,
Okay, we can certainly try.
Have a way of... Badly short range teleportation.
The best I can do is run out of there really quick. I can't say I've got any explicit teleportation tricks. Unless you've got anything you want to put in the ring.
I actually. You're proficient with
Yes.
I don't even need to put it in. I can if you so desire.
Whatever's more convenient for you, Tophin.
Please don't exert yourself unnecessarily. Save that for the bedchamber. Goodness.
Trying to do.
I will. Go ahead.
Sweet. Let me pull up Hound Dimension.
500 feet in the direction
500
you
feet in a
choose.
direction you
Okay,
And
sweet.
you're gone.
Perfect.
until you end up in a wall.
It has no material components, so you don't need anything. It casts using my spell slot.
Okay, awesome. Thanks,
Got
Tophin.
one.
One should be enough.
One Batman
get
smoke
one.
bomb.
Blood Lotus Gang is persistent, but I can't say that they've got anything.
I can give you
Explicit.
a louder option, or in the ring as well. Should you
How loud are we talking?
quite?
What you got?
I can give you Thunderstep to put in the ring.
Sure, I'll
And-
take it just in case.
If it goes tits up, Thunderstep, Dimension Door, you're gone. They're deaf.
Yeah, no shit.
So yeah, I guess I will cast Thunderstep at 3rd level.
God damn.
Sweet. That's another one. I don't know exactly what it does, but we can cross that bridge when we get
It's a
there.
90-foot teleport.
Yep. In
And
a direction
does
that you
damage
see.
to everything within 10 feet of you.
Holy
Does
shit!
thunder damage within everything within.
Is that like a
When you land.
Oh, when I
No,
land.
it's,
Okay.
it's when you leave.
Oh, it's when you leave.
Oh, okay.
And,
And it makes an audible sound that can be heard for like 200 feet.
I figured. Okay.
and both of them you bring anything you're wearing or carrying, and you can bring one willing of your size.
Perfect. Covers me and Spud just fine. Okay.
Have to be within 5 feet of you.
Cool. Thanks, Tophin. I appreciate that. Before I do go though, I wouldn't mind stopping by home and saying hello. I might also be able to get a couple leads on where he might be right now. There.
You think it's smart if I tag along, or should I?
I will inform Mr. Stobrick of what's going on. We can sit down and have a chat. I think that you will be once we explain things. I think you would.
So, like, talk to people about the golem. Well, that's like low priority right now.
I'm
You
still.
did originally want to talk to people about it,
Yes.
or investigate at least.
I certainly haven't forgot. I've just been
I guess
thinking about how to approach it. I had a conversation with one of my colleagues back in the Ivory Coast, and I heard some interesting information that made me rethink things a little bit. But it's definitely still worth
so.
pursuing.
I don't really know how this corporation of yours works. Is it like one big building with like a bunch of different people doing research on different floors and in rooms, or is it like a bunch of different places?
DM, do you have any notes on that you'd like to share before I kind of spin some stuff?
On the New Beginnings Corporation?
Yeah, and I guess the
Is it
building
like-
specifically.
Is it like a big ass tower with a bunch of labs and stuff in it, or is it like a bunch of small buildings?
It is a massive factory. So it has small buildings, large buildings, small labs.
There's a bunch of places where they're doing a bunch of stuff.
Yes. It is
They're-
not focused on only one thing. It is the largest technological corporation in...
Yeah, I was just
Exactly.
thinking, is it like big ass tower, or is it like a big campus?
Yes.
Yeah, for For perspective, the New Beginnings Corporation encompasses 1/3 of the entire Innovation Covenant.
It's massive. We cover everything from the radios in folks' homes to the most cutting-edge bioether technology.
Radios do not exist yet.
Ugh. Anywhere from basic radio wave prototype technology.
Jesus.
So,
That was something specific to Future Caloric.
I could go look around
I have it now.
Nice.
if you give me a general idea of
Of
where
what?
something like that might be being worked on.
Something like what? I'm sorry.
Like the golem.
Oh, well,
You're not ready to broach the subject right yet. I could investigative work to see if something actually going on with it or not.
let's hold for now, just in case we open an entirely different
enough.
barrel of
Just-
fish.
Fine.
Keep your guard up for sure, but don't explicitly go.
Absolutely.
Well, with all that out of the way, I suppose. Would you like to go and see what I do for a living, guys?
That's not really what you
Come
do for a
around
living
with
anymore,
us
is
for
it?
a living.
Okay. I suppose my day job. But
Lead
I'm
the
not
way.
off being a super cool adventurer.
Said you were cool.
I'd like to think the Spread Eagles are a pretty cool group of adventurers, but I suppose if you want to lump yourself in that camp,
I'm
Avaria,
just
my guess.
saying. Every group has their
Avaria.
special friend.
Yeah.
Are you trying to say about me?
I think that's you, dear. We love you, but
God damn.
Sometimes Avaria smash.
I love you, but fuck.
Alright. Thank you for the intel, Kosrias. Can I show you guys the way?
I will be returning to my post for
Of course.
peddling his leather overcoat, and see there's like small little vials of some sort of substance.
I have some.
You mind if I...
Are you going to pay?
It's pickle juice.
is it anything worth paying for?
No.
Do you mind if
And
I
you-
inquire on what it is, Kosrias? I'm just curious as to what they're peddling nowadays.
Say. It looks like small little fine, like crystalline blue dust.
Spice.
I shit you not, that's what it's called.
Spice?
Yes.
Yeah. Of course it's called spice. Why
So
would it
he
be called
takes it
spice?
out of his cloak, and I just take a whiff. He hands
Oh
it to you.
god.
Yeah, I
Remember
don't
all
need a
your
whiff.
gums?
I know what spice is. I was really
excuse
hoping
me.
it wouldn't end up this common.
Have you, by chance, heard?
Wait, how do you snort stuff in a world where there's no cheaper currency?
I
You
suppose
just-
everybody's got writing paper on them.
Here,
Just like put on your finger.
no, you take the little vial and you stick it up to your nose and inhale.
It works.
He's got a little feeder tube at the bottom that pushes it up.
Excuse me.
like a
Have
push
you heard of
pop.
the pickle man?
I'm sorry, what's a pickle man?
Oh my god.
It
Avaria, I know the pickle man, but pressing matters.
I'm interested.
I'm
What is a
just-
pickle man?
we'll have to
Saying
tell
if
you
they've
whenever
heard
we
of
meet
it.
together next.
Please.
Goes for us, there's an awful lot that just
It's,
It's
there was a wizard in
The
That last place, where was
the
that?
Golden Coast. The Golden
yeah.
Coast.
What was the city?
Port Hair High.
That one. Thank you, Kosrias.
Yeah. Anytime.
He apparently made pickles unopenable. They're the perfect pickle. And open the jar. See, we bought a bunch of them.
You need a storm giant to open one of those bad
Boy,
boys.
takes it. Why don't you just smash it?
'Cause
Throws
the
it against the
pickle-
wall, like smashes the lid off.
Then the pickles aren't perfect anymore.
And watches it just like shrivels up.
Yeah, isn't that the most
What a
dickish thing
cruel-
you've ever
what a
seen?
Cruel
Yes,
enchantment.
it is.
He sold
Now
like
I want pickles.
he
Now
sold
this
it.
poor bastard that we ran into had bought into this wizard's scheme
He must have spent at least 500
and had
gold on that
spent
card.
like his life savings buying into it, and then wasn't able to sell them anymore when open them. So
It is my goal
He's
to
on
find
our-
this mother.
our-
we eventually would like to find.
I'm not saying we're
Pickle
trying to
Man.
find him right now, but I have to keep looking.
He's on our bottom tier of nemesis at the moment.
And
Sorry, I haven't heard of a pickle man, but this
Okay,
is
that's
a
all I need to know.
wondrous story that I
All I
wish
need
to
to
hear
know.
more.
Whenever you're in Port Hair High, keep an eye out for him, I
Are
suppose.
you sure he's there?
It doesn't
If you
seem
ever
like
hear
it,
of
but
him.
that's the latest lead
Do you
we
know a
got.
name?
Oh,
we do know a name.
I
don't
can't
we?
remember
Perrin.
right now.
Perrin, yeah.
Perrin
That was
the-
what was in my head.
Perrin the Pickle
I
Wizard.
did not trust it.
Natural one. Sorry, I've never heard of a name named Perrin.
Human,
he,
right?
He seems to be a slippery fellow.
Who cares?
But who knows?
One person.
I care. I'm just more worried about your friend at the moment.
Oh,
I'm
gee,
trying
I
to-
appreciate that.
I'm trying to save your friend, but I still have to ask. We'll never find him if we don't search.
Between your friend and me and Navaria's families, I think we have a lot more pressing issues on our hands.
We'll get to your family
Agreed.
next.
You have to wait. Your family will be okay.
We get to his friend.
We already promised
Then
to
your
go
family.
jailbreak your sister after we jailbreak Kelrick's.
I mean,
So
Going to be a lot easier.
I mean, we've already got the plan because you'll be on the way because we got to go through the Desire Wasteland anyway and get
oh
that.
yeah, we have to do that.
Gotta
too.
get that sword.
God.
For that ring, I don't even have attuned anymore.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't want to talk her up too much, but that would be a lot easier if we had Eldris's help. She was.
Rescuing Navaria's sister.
Oh yeah. She had as a knack for it.
oh no, we're getting your friend. I just like
No,
I
I'm
have to ask.
I'm saying it as much as I obviously and want to. If Elytris was truly framed, which everything seems to be, then she doesn't deserve to be executed,
Got this.
and we need to solve that. But what I'm saying is, she is really.
What do you mean by execute? They haven't announced that yet.
Oh, newsflash! Surprise!
You don't know anything either.
Nope.
Nope.
He just said it, so it must be true.
It has been a trial. There's been nothing mentioned of an execution. They haven't even found her guilty yet.
Yes, but let's be honest. If we know if that trial's a sham and they need a scapegoat,
Yeah, they'll just send her off to Blackrock like they do everyone else.
Insight check on Kel.
Inside check.
I don't know. Maybe after the destruction of the clock tower, maybe the judicial system's twisting a little bit tighter.
17.
what do you mean? What are you curious about? I guess I'll ask.
What do you know? Like, I feel like you're not telling us everything. You bring up execution, and Gosrias seems fairly confident that that wouldn't be a.
Kelberg seems pretty damn confident that because apparently this is all shady bullshit, she's not getting the normal treatment that other people are gonna get if she gets convicted.
DM, can I do a quick perception check? Make sure nobody's listening into our.
You're in a back alley. There's no one
Okay.
around.
Okay. Well, no.
What about somebody casting meld into stone? Huh?
Yeah, there's definitely guards that know meld into stone, and they're just watching you, waiting to
Same.
jump out.
You never know when the Bloodlose gang will be around.
Okay.
Okay.
Gang.
You do have fun with all this hanging around Costa Rica.
Thank you, DM.
And I mean, you formerly.
But
Spud's here.
I need to get back to work. If I don't sell all this, then I get reprimanded.
I understand.
I need to keep a. I need to be good, but not the best. So that I can keep a low profile.
Nice.
Let's get this train rolling.
We'll let you get back to it, Kosrios. Thanks for
It'll
thanks for the intel.
Take you guys a while. Sometimes it'll get opened.
I'll keep that in mind.
Don't take it in this. I have a bad time.
Oh boy.
Are 10 gold a pop.
That if
Oh,
they can
that's-
get us into places, it might be worth having a couple actually.
Yes.
Do
Definitely.
2 more. Small like powder.
I'll hang on to
3 vials of spice.
Spice.
Well,
Spice Girls.
can I show you guys the way?
So we are. We're the Spice Girls.
As you begin leading the way towards
Leading the way.
the
Shall
New
we
Beginnings
go?
Corporation, we're going to take our break.
Ah.
Ooh, it's already 9:47. A hot dog.
All right, guys, don't go nowhere. We're going to take a short break, and then we'll come back to the exploration.
Bye.
of the wondrous steampunk city of Zakarat.
Hydrate.
And we're back.
I got more liquor.
And we're gone.
Stand by.
Yeah. I'm sorry, everyone.
No, he's not.
Don't be weird.
Don't stock booze in your house. You can have it.
What you want me to do? I'm a raging alcoholic.
Oh, well. Just gonna leave that one packed up.
As you guys continue your way, you eventually pass into the Innovation Covenant. Continue past a numerous number of different buildings, organizations, and eventually coming towards a large archway. These kind of half iron and brass cogwheels over an archway. 2 guards at either side, and a large iron fence that kind of encompasses the entire grounds. Familiar sight for you, Holland. The entry into the New Beginnings Corporation. You can see in large brass letters, reads NBC across this large arching... What? You can see there's a couple guards standing out front, and various people coming from the multitude of different buildings on the inside of the grounds. See a couple of them look up. It's been a long time, Master Holland.
It has. It's good to see you.
As
Master.
I have a
That's
bit of
hot.
status. Oh, I thank you, Topin. I've got a little bit of status here.
should I notify them you're here, or are you just going to?
I think I'd like to surprise Mr. Stovrick.
Understood.
Well, good day.
Yes.
Are you okay?
You notice that both of these guards are wielding no weapons, but you notice a familiar sight of like these mechanical gauntlets that are on their hands that have these little nuts and bolts kind of on the edges of them, almost like brass knuckles, but you would know that these are thunder gauntlets.
A couple of armors, okay.
He said nuts.
God damn it.
I was more thinking about all the shocking you can do.
Oh. Oh, man.
I'm gonna start stocking D4s over here, and every time somebody makes a stupid joke, they're getting a D4 to the face.
That's a weapon, man.
You know what?
It.
We'll start right now.
You're gonna
Oh.
regret this because you're gonna throw D4s at me
You're
all
gonna
the
end up
time.
with you're gonna basically end up with caltrops.
and you're
on the
gonna
ground.
step on one. The moment you step on one, you're gonna regret that decision.
I'm gonna have to listen
But
to
go
you
ahead.
bitch and moan about
But go ahead,
it.
throw D4s at me in
The
your
rest of us
studio.
are wearing shoes.
Yeah.
So.
Shoes on.
No,
Fuck you.
Go
Jeez.
for it.
That'd be a porn.
We're not-
show.
Just not on stream.
we're not having this conversation on stream.
God damn. Oh, y'all.
Any motherfuckers.
Living up to our
Yes.
moniker.
You're realizing this now?
No, I've known it for
That's
almost
good.
2 years now. Where are you heading?
Heading in the front door. Heading on.
Front door of which building?
Master Holland.
There is in
Holland
front of you
Reed.
the large factory building where a majority of the larger mechanical things are put together. There is an entry to Dagon, one of the lead researchers for Mr. Stovrick, and one that you remember very well.
Maestro.
His laboratory is just a few doors down. You remember there is Marcia, a
The wind
woman
from
who
your blood.
was you were very I shouldn't say very, you were semi close with. She was another apprentice to Mr. Stovrick that worked alongside you and Dagon and helped create the arm in which you now have. Her quarters, in which were also your quarters, are down past the factory and a small little outcropping of a building.
Master.
Oh no. What time of day is it? Oh, right.
That's one caltrop deployed, gents.
What's the time of day right now?
Precise time.
Kelrick, what time is it?
It is exactly. Have we changed time zones?
No.
Oh, okay.
Are
It-
there time zones?
It is 11:32 and 11 seconds.
And how many milliseconds?
AM or
One.
PM?
1.
Oh, I suppose at this time, Mr. Stobrick is probably in his personal office. That's probably the best place to head right now. So,
Which you would know is at the back of the large factory.
then that is where I will take my companions.
He is our master, after all.
Oh no. You're gonna be running out D4s real quick, Matt.
Eventually, you lead them through the large warehouse where you can see as you guys are walking through a multitude of different things being built. Whole homes that are being built, and you can see someone walk up in this small little iron building. They walk up and they press it, and the building folds in on itself until it's a cube about maybe 2 foot by 2 foot.
Pardon me, sir. What the hell?
We've got some really innovative things going on here at New Beginnings. No pun intended.
And you can see they're working on these various different homes. Holland, you would know that this is a part of their
Mobile
way
project.
to help humanity. A home that can be deployed to help those that are in need whenever places get attacked by various different monsters or whenever things go awry. This is one of the main things that the New Beginnings Corporation likes to offer out to people, something that they're very proud of.
Oh my god. You're Matt, you're gonna have to play some loud music. Play us off here.
What are you laughing at so much?
I don't know, something up top in this display of
Deploying the
The walking tower?
Yeah, the walking tower.
That's pretty good.
I have so many questions, but I'm never gonna get the answers.
I'm just laughing because I feel like Shelby's about to have a stroke.
Ladies and gentlemen, my wife is a lightweight.
Well,
Continuing. Mute your mic. Eventually, you walk back to the main research laboratory that Eisenstobrick uses. It is a wonder to behold as you walk in. There is essentially a room that shines with chrome and brass and coppers. Everything in here pristine and perfect. You can see the wires, these large, almost black foam insulated wires running across the ceilings that are creating these almost LED-like lights across the ceilings, creating artificial light, the likes that most of you have never seen before. You can see there are a multitude of tools across the main table in the center of the room that are meticulously placed, each one, and it has a rightful place, and each one is in a perfect order. No one sits higher than the other, and all laid out. But Eisenstover does not seem to be here. Goddamn.
That's a little peculiar. Normally he's here about this time of day. Well, I suppose we should go looking around and I'll try and find somebody that can point us in the right direction.
As you begin to leave, a familiar face walks in. The human man of Dagon. Holland, it's been a long time. I didn't even know you were back.
Yes, I just arrived in town. It's good to see you, Dagon. I see that you've wrapped up things in the Ivory Coast.
It's, it was a short trip back.
I can imagine. How are things going with the flying machine project?
I think he's on the right track. Unfortunately, I wasn't still unable to get him to sign on. wants to remain an independent contractor. We will, however, continue to fund him and continue because this is something the New Beginnings Corporation and Mr. Stovrick is immensely interested in.
Absolutely. Aether-powered propulsion tech? That could revolutionize everything.
It would certainly make travel overseas quite easier, not having to deal with the treacherous Forsaken Sea and the Broken Sea.
Oh, entirely. Weeks' journeys would become mere hours.
That is the hope.
Hopefully one day soon. I'm good to hear everything as well, though. How long have you been back in town?
Oh, only a day.
I see that you only had a little bit of a head start then.
Right, I assume you're looking for Mr. Stovrick.
Of course.
He is meeting with Lazarn right now.
I see.
He should be free any moment. If you'd like, take yourselves at home, and when he arrives, I'll let him know.
Keep it a surprise. Just tell him somebody's here to see him.
Understood.
It's been a while. I'm sure that he would appreciate the pleasant surprise too. I know that he's been very busy at work, especially in regards to securing these larger deals with the Empire on our new Aether trade routes and mines. Hopefully, the one I set up outside of, I can't remember the name of the city at the moment. Hopefully that is going well.
He's looking for something bigger to throw at me. He's like, yeah, fucking D4 is not enough for this asshole. Dragon's a master of motorboating.
Oh my.
I rest my case.
We met Dagon before?
You guys did
no.
not.
No.
Those two did.
Yeah. Well, it's good to see you, Dagon. It's good to see you.
It
Hopefully.
is good to see you again.
Oh, I can't wait to see everybody else. We're here on some business right now, so I'll be a little squared away for the first at least couple days of our stay here, but hopefully I'll have a little bit of time to really catch up with everybody once our objectives here are complete.
Hopefully that will not keep too long. I'm sure your brilliant mind would be well accepted from Mr. Stovrick on a few different projects he's working on.
Oh, I'd love to
One of
take a look.
them is a self-propulsion pack that sits on your back and allows you to fly.
Oh, I see.
He's having a bit of trouble keeping it from blowing up.
Could it perhaps be an issue with the power source? Does it need something larger?
I'm afraid I'm not a part of the project.
I see. I'll have to ask him whenever I see him then. I could
It's
think
interesting.
I could think of a couple applications for that, and I'll look down at Spud and give him an almost maniacal.
Yes, a flying turtle would be quite...
It would be a sight to see.
Yes, it would.
Well, I don't want to keep you from your responsibilities, Dagon. I suppose that we will probably hang out in here until Mr. Stovrick is no longer tied up in his meeting.
Well, it should be any minute.
Wonderful.
Yes.
How does what does their dynamic?
Make an insight check.
I'm kind of curious.
15.
Which one is the master?
Somehow I'm the third horniest person at the table, which
Sorry.
is weird.
What was your roll?
15. I haven't rolled above a 10 tonight.
You have an inspiration.
That's fine. Save it for any combat we
I
might
do?
end up in.
Everybody
I
has
thought
an
you
inspiration.
had one.
Everybody had. I have two. Everybody
Yeah,
has one.
we each have one. You've got two. Matt's got 5.
I'm already getting whispered.
Oh, that is.
Really different.
You can unmute that now.
As if the mic was gonna pick that up.
Just in case.
Whispering speak nothings.
Exactly what it was.
Boost that by 500 doesn't.
Well,
Silence.
I'll let you get going, Dagon. Hopefully I'll see you again soon.
Yes, hopefully.
Well, guys, if Mr. Stovrick isn't going to be too much longer, I suppose we should just hold up in here for a little while. He's usually pretty poignant and coming back around to his office after meetings. And I'm gonna be taking off my coat, maybe some of my extra belts over my armor, getting a little more comfortable.
You don't mind me asking, Colin, what's your...
Pretty professional. I think the Dagon and I get along pretty well. I hope.
And, like, did you, like, grow up together? Or is this, like, a recent professional?
It's...
School together?
No.
Dagon had already worked for Mr. Stovrick.
No,
when he came on.
Dagon is a fair bit older than I am. He's been around for much longer. I've only been on board the past 4-5-ish years.
Are you, like, equals?
Just holding him up to his
I
shotgun.
not necessarily. I would think I have pretty decent standing as Mr. Stovrick's personal apprentice, but Dagon in sheer position has more weight around here
Jesus.
than I do.
Projectile.
Why did
That one I would actually duck from.
something
Yeah.
seem off in that interaction?
I was just curious. Never met them before.
Dagon
That's
and
fine.
Howlin sitting in a tree. Was it like that?
No, he's a fair bit older than I am. It's a strictly business.
That is an interesting question, though, Colin. Who are you into? I think through my exploits, it's pretty clear for me.
You know, I haven't really thought about it much since I've been out away from home. I admittedly did have a bit of a thing with Masha for a while, but business kind of tended to get in the way. We never really work on the same project. She's more in the alchemy division.
Studying together.
It's been a long time since we've had anything to mutually study. I'd like to think we're on good terms right now, but it's been peaks and valleys.
Anatomy class.
Not quite.
Satiate my curiosity.
There was a lot of beating around the bush, Howlin.
What
Do you only really swing that way, or is it
I
kind of a two-way street?
My man's about to have an awakening right now.
I'm genuinely
I'd
curious
say
if I'm
the-
pushing too much.
No,
It's
no,
okay, I understand.
I just haven't thought about it.
That's over like, God damn it, my fucking.
The jury's out on that one right now. I'm
Fair
not
enough.
sure. I've just been so business first for such a long time. I haven't really thought about it too much.
Don't really understand, but I get it.
Maybe if I wasn't so busy, and maybe I don't know. It's been a while. You can definitely tell that this conversation has got Howlin fairly flustered. Yeah, it's probably not the answer you were looking for. But...
I was simply curious. My exploits are
I tried to
fairly well,
banish somebody.
Well
public
documented.
at this point.
While they're having that conversation, Avaria, see that wicket over there on that shelf? Don't you wonder what it does?
Oh, Kelric.
Hold on, you're discussing your.
Yeah. What do I need to do?
Okay.
Sorry, Matt.
Get it.
I don't know, just fuck with it.
Go get it.
Fucking hand grenade.
You pick it up, and it is a small, almost... it's a small metal handle that comes out to a little spout. It comes out with like a small little narrow spout, and there's a multitude of small little rubies that are in the back of it that all glow with like a shimmering red. Each of them have like this small little swirling mist on the inside of it, and there's a little trigger on the front. And when you click it A blue flame just instantly comes out.
Oh, guys, I want this.
Is this
Whoa.
a fucking flamethrower? Or more like
No,
a
it's a
lighter?
plasma.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Varia, that's very sensitive tech. I would.
Yes, it is one of a kind. I would appreciate you putting it back on my wall. Bruh.
Sorry.
Why'd you get me in trouble?
Eisen, it's
Yes,
good
Holland.
to see you. And
Slams
I'll
up on the wall.
kind of slowly take a couple steps towards him and.
My dear. That thing you just slammed is worth 10 times your net worth.
I doubt.
Oh, I don't, Avaria Silverleaf.
Jesus Christ.
That's our pretend name.
It's good to see you.
It is good to see you
I'm
as well,
not
my
worth
boy.
anything.
I see that you are
I
at least
made
familiar
it.
with my traveling companions.
When I caught word that you were not returning with the fleet and the shipment, I decided that I needed to take interest in who you'd be traveling with.
Wow.
That's very understandable.
Well, you've been like a son to me, and a father must protect
No,
those he cares about.
Thank you, Isaac. I'm sorry I didn't come home.
No,
at
don't.
the time.
Please, I wish for you to see the world.
Oh man, I've seen more shades of the world than I could have anticipated.
Well, I hope you get to see all corners of this wondrous globe. I myself have just returned from a far-off land.
Must have been a short trip. Where'd you go? Your mom's house.
I caught word of a technology the likes of which I had never heard of before. He kind of like motions around to the room. All of this is child's play to them.
Really? What kind of land could make what we're doing here look like child's play?
I don't know where they came from. Out of this world. But a city ran by
Mechanical people? Like, oh, okay.
When I caught word of this, tall tale from sailors that were traveling and trading here, thought for sure it had to be a lie. Had to see it for myself, so I commissioned a voyage. Ventured to this wondrous city. Far off land that most thought to be barren. In fact, it's not. Beautiful. All I'll say.
That sounds like a truly magical.
I'll say we have them beat in some areas.
Dicey threw at me.
But they've advanced so far into the age of technology that I don't know if we'll ever catch up.
Wow. That is truly marvelous, Eisen. Wow.
It is.
City full of mechanical
But
I'll have
enough
to do
about
my
my travels. Please, what are you here for? What can I do for you?
I am actually here on unrelated business at the moment. I'm here to help my companion Kelric with some personal business. I have totally forgotten to do proper introductions. You may
He
already
knows us.
yes, but the formality is nice. Maybe make the room a little more comfortable. Eisen, this is Kelric, Elfin, and Avaria. Spread Eagles, this is Mr. Eisen Stofrick, founder and lead researcher of New Beginnings Corporation.
Nice to meet you. I know the name well.
Very easy to be clandestine with my lineage.
See him like lift his hand and like one of those small little magnifying glasses kind of like lifts off the wall and floats over. It's hard to not know the creator of such things.
He's very skilled, as I'm sure you're well aware. But he prefers to stay outside of the corporations and the covenants.
Yes, as I've come to find out.
Hmm.
Trying to get him on payroll was an expensive venture.
Freelance. Probably.
Nowadays.
He's still picky with his, what he will do and what he won't.
I think it's more along the lines of who asks. Yes?
Well, Eisen, with introductions out of the way, I suppose, I don't think anybody's nearby. I won't divulge everything at the moment because our information is fairly sensitive, but we are currently investigating the trial over the clock tower incident that happened a while back. We have
Are you getting involved?
We have discovered that the incident was potentially a front for something more important.
But why does that concern you?
It's... At the moment, I
Has to
suppose,
deal with other things.
it is also in concern to one of Kelrick's friends that was unfortunately roped in and framed.
He's the one to be put on trial. But we have very good reason to suspect that a benefactor of some form hired the Blood Lotus gang to steal something.
From the Innovation Covenant headquarters.
The Lotus Gang is behind this? Those small fries?
I don't know.
Somebody hired them.
They're certainly a part of this web. Which has me wondering, do you know what was stolen from the Innovation Covenant headquarters? They never released that information to the public.
Say I do.
Yeah, insight check.
Why are you guys laughing?
Because, you know what? You don't want to know.
I feel bad insight checking my surrogate dad. But I'm gonna do it
Fucking
anyway.
shit. 13.
17 plus 6, 25, I think? 23.
There's... It says he doesn't know, but there's like a tone to his voice. His eyes look away whenever he says it. Hard to tell, but you don't think he's necessarily giving you the full truth?
I see. Well, whatever it is, we believe that whatever was stolen is part of something much larger, and I suppose that we're just starting to uncover something much deeper.
I see. Well, my resources are at your disposal.
Thank you, Eisen. That's greatly appreciated.
I could get 2 guards. Our guards.
Of course.
Not city guards. To escort you around if you're looking to go into hazardous situations.
What do you guys think?
I appreciate it.
Yes.
I suppose that we will decline that offer, but in case we ever need them, I will let you know. But thank you, Isaac. Thank you.
You know my door is always open.
Of course.
Speak to me. So long as you don't try to steal things.
I wasn't trying to steal anything. I was going to borrow.
My friends are hands-on learners.
That took me quite a while to
I
get
just
dialed
wanted to
in.
learn what it did. You know, how am I gonna learn if I don't get life?
Can I be your intern?
I like to think you're not mechanically inclined.
Oh.
I really could. Book by it.
I'm not.
In thin water. You might end up dying here. Poor Amber's coming out.
Oh man.
Don't worry, I'll
Who
let
knows
this
what
slide.
that
I'm just
wall-
gonna
Well,
Knows what
walk
that
on
wall
out.
does.
Unlike your friend.
Thank you, Eisen. It's nice. It's nice to see. I suppose I will take my friends to my quarters, assuming that the things are all the
They've
way
been
up.
untouched.
Wonderful.
Although, I'd say Marsha probably moved into the common area and took over most of it. I doubt you have much room left besides your own personal quarters.
I suppose that's fine. I
I
won't
mean,
be
being
in town
gone for a few years kind of does that.
Oh, yeah, I suppose so. I haven't seen Masha in a long time. Oh, what is she up to right now?
She's actually not here. Out on a job, much unlike yourself. She traveled towards the Arbok Tundra.
Oh, I see.
Yes, she is going to Colswade to work with the coal miners, trying to bring in a new source of energy. Relying less on Aether, more on renewable sources.
That's good to hear. Having some options there would always be nice. Aether's so volatile sometimes. I'm glad she's doing well. Oh, that's good news. Well, I suppose if she's not in town at the moment, then I'll have plenty of space. I'll come and see you again here soon, Mr. Stelbrick. Or Eisen, sorry. If guys, if you would like to step out for just a moment, I will catch up with you very shortly.
Sure,
course.
master.
Avaria,
Now you talk. Now you
apologize
brought
for
it
us.
inside of the game.
I apologize for us.
Oy vey.
That's a slip.
Ar's just gonna skip happily out.
You certainly have some colorful friends.
I do. They're good people. Whenever I was out in the Empire trying to establish new lanes of Aether trade,
Speaking of, we have gotten wondrous amounts of new work done because of that.
That's
The
incredible.
amount of Aether that comes in has his production by tenfold.
Wow. Wow. That's great news, Eisen. I'm so glad to hear that. What are you up to with with the increased output?
Well, with the increased output, we are looking to create we're looking to create a device that will cease the Aether fallout that plagues the Deshaya wastelands. To hopefully not make it such a wasteland.
Fascinating.
But
Keep me up to date on how that technology is doing. I actually have business in the Deshaya wasteland.
well,
at
yeah,
some-
business everywhere nowadays, it seems.
So it is. I've been quite a few places. I've been through large swaths of the Empire, up through the Ivory Coast. It's been an adventure. It's been a very, very interesting time.
Well, I will keep you updated. We have not deployed any tests yet, but when the device is ready, I'll be sure to notify you so you and your friends can be present. It will be something for the history books.
I would imagine that is a incredibly exciting technology. As much as I could go on about that, I have some lesser business I would like to ask you about. Do you know where Wallabingi could be by chance?
Where what?
My my old friend from the Blood Lotus, Wall the Bingy.
Called the witch doctor?
Ting Tang Wall. As I know that keeping track. I know that keeping track of the Blood Lotus gang probably isn't top priority with all the new ventures going on. But if we've got anybody on that, I need to see him for the business I'm currently working on.
I do not keep track of this man.
That's understandable.
Wow.
Oh man, yeah, he is a slippery one to get a hold of, and I'd imagine him being out of town, probably not. But I figured it was worth asking.
Is he tall or purple? Weird pencil mustache.
No, he's no, that's fine. Things have been interesting in my time away, and
Yes, they have.
It will be interesting seeing my adventuring life and my business life coexist simultaneously.
No. It's ready to go now.
I really don't know what else to say, Isaac. It's just nice to be back. It's nice
It
to
is
be
nice
home.
to see you.
Well, I suppose I will be heading to my quarters then, and seeing if I can track down Wall at some time here soon. I'll be by again soon. I would definitely like to see you a couple times while I'm in town.
I think that would be nice.
While I'm in town, I'm
Yes.
looking for Wally.
Thank you, Eisen. And I guess I'll go in for a hug.
He takes you, embraces you.
Oh,
Stop!
Stop! Oh man.
wow.
I'm so glad I hit that ad break.
You didn't put them in an ad.
You know, I'll have to chat with you more about this later, but having
That's savage.
Oy vey.
Was it because of Walla Binky?
Yes, because you guys started busting up laughing. It's like, we're gonna get nowhere for the next minute. I'm gonna just take it to an ad.
Nice.
Why is it so mean
It's
to
not my
them?
fault Dustin came up with that name.
Walla Binky.
That is exactly the reference. You got it on the nose. On the nose.
Those that are subscribers can still see and hear all this, so.
Nice.
Perfect. Love it.
I won't chat about it now because I need to regroup with my friends. But now, having substantial field testing on the Agrium appendage Mach 1, I've thought of some modifications and some different routes that we could take the platform.
Yes, and what is that?
I have found that using external sources of aether to power things to be less efficient and a little more clumsy than I was anticipating out on the field, and I am interested in maybe pursuing some enhanced features to the modifications that the arm can use. I think maybe being able to have quickly assembled abilities may be more useful than relying on external power sources, and maybe also increasing the size of the white aether crystal on the inside to accommodate such modification slots and the power that would exert.
Well, thanks to our new trade with the Zartalos Empire, we have larger crystals that we can provide, larger power sources. So this will be easy enough to. Just let me know when you want to come by. We can draw up some schematics, get to Dagon in here and get his brilliant mind on it, and eventually see what we can come up with.
That would be wonderful. I haven't drawn out anything yet, but I'm certainly looking forward to that. Maybe throw in
As am I.
Maybe throw in a couple modifications for Spud too. He's proven to be quite capable in combat.
I think I'll leave those for you. The creation of your own have only your hands on.
Of course.
And
That's a good one.
also, in case anyone's wondering, you can't see fuck all through.
Oh no. Oh
Really?
no.
Never would have guessed.
I feel like I fast forwarded to age 70 in cataracts.
Did I notice that?
Sorry, you didn't roll high enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just confirming that I didn't.
Well,
Got you.
enough of the Zacharadian goodbye. I'll be heading to my quarters.
He walks over and starts like maneuvering things on the wall to get them back into the perfect place. Walks over to the table where Avaria like bumped it as she like walked out and starts maneuvering all the tools back to where they're supposed to be.
Oh, hopefully they'll figure things out as we stay here and maybe figure out the rules.
Hopefully.
I'll see you soon, Eisen.
Yes. Hopefully, well, actually, why don't you and your friends join us for dinner later this evening?
That would be wonderful. Where will we be having dinner?
In the dining hall, of course.
Of course. Yeah, absolutely. What time?
Dinner time.
We'll eat at sundown.
That sounds great. I'll see you at sundown, Eisen.
See you there.
And I will take my leave and close the door.
Get on the floor.
I'll look down at Spud as we're kind of heading back to my quarters.
Yeah, and eventually just lead everyone back to where your private quarters are.
Always.
How tall is the... This is like a vaulted ceiling hallway?
Oh.
Shut down immediately.
It's a very nondescript hallway. There is stone-paved walls, stone-paved pavement going down, and small little torches that are not necessarily torches because they're electrical lighting along the walls.
Not nondescript if he describes it.
God, you're in a fucking sassy mood tonight.
Because he's throwing fucking rocks at me.
I threw one dice at you.
Okay.
When it was deserved.
Yep.
2.
Oh, in your quarters.
Right. It will take a couple more turns this way, and you're off, and then we'll. After a while, we'll end up at my quarters.
Is this like big enough for all of us to stay, or is?
If Masha's not in town, then I suppose it will be.
I'm being good. Leave me alone.
And I'll open the door
Not
for
you,
everybody.
it's for me.
Spud will go flying in and do a couple of little donuts on the floor.
We got like a little water bowl.
Yeah, see, I keep a little oil bowl for him on tap.
It's like one of the fancy ones with like the faucet attached. Where you can
Yes,
turn
like
it.
the ones you get for kids.
I'm trying to get details on this room.
Yeah, DM, would you like to describe my quarters? I haven't been here in a while. Probably looks a
Sure.
little different.
Here.
As you enter into the room, you find yourself in a large open space. It kind of leads out towards a balcony that's out the back that kind of overlooks a small an outdoor working area where you can see they have different mechanical machinations, much like your own steel defenders of sorts. You can see there is a couple tables that kind of sit out here overlooking them, and then back into the building you have a kitchen area that is attached to your small common area here. A large table that is kind of set out in the center with numerous different papers that you can see Masha has kind of set out and begin to work on. The walls are kind of lined with very tacky steampunk themed art. It doesn't really fit the room.
Oh, I see interior decorating's gone out the window. Ugh.
You can see the two hallways, one to the right, one to the left, that leads off to your respective rooms, yours and hers.
Well, I suppose I shall kind of point everybody in the direction of my room.
No need for a black light then.
Oh my.
So you shared this space with your
Well,
patriot.
not this particular room space, no, but the entire working
That's
quarter.
what I was
Yes.
asking, yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
That's
I'm not trying to pry too much on it.
no,
You're encouraging it.
So we got to know each other. You know, both of us working under Mr. Stovrick, and we just got along really well.
Sit down.
But anyway, here's my room. Oh goodness, I feel so weird in here right now. In such a long time. I guess I'll just kind of step over to my bed and sit down and.
How long has it been since you've been here?
It's there, unmade, just as you left it.
Sounds about right. It's been. Oh goodness. Exactly how long has it been, DM? Just to double check.
Unmade, huh? Last time you were here, the bed was rustled.
No, about as much from how much I turned. Oh goodness.
I need a damn hammer. You have been away for a little over a year.
It's been about a year, give or take. I was in the Empire a couple months before you guys showed up. And obviously our journeys have carried us where we've been. Yeah, it's been a long time. It feels like a lifetime ago, if I'm being honest. We've seen so much. And I guess while I'm just sitting here on my bed in my, I guess basically my teenage room, you see like 1,000
Aren't you
pounds.
like 18?
I'm 22.
Oh shit, you're old.
Not
I-
young like us boys.
I just, I don't know, sit down and let 1,000 pounds fall off of me. It just, I don't know. Not literally, of course. Oh,
His arm just like pops off and slams onto the
I
ground.
mean, out of all of us, he is literally the one that can pop his arm off.
oh man.
Not with that attitude.
We could try.
Well,
You'd have to yank me.
No.
Oh boy.
oh boy.
He winked. Yee.
Well, Eisen didn't have all the intel I was expecting. My associate, I suppose I haven't told you guys his name now that we're somewhere a little more private. His name is Wal Labingi. We were childhood friends, and the Blood Lotus kind of got in the way of that. So, Mr. Stover didn't have any information on him. I'll have to ask around a little bit more. I'll probably have to get on the street a bit, because I don't know if anybody else in New Beginnings would be following anything like that sort.
Not the first time I've been covered in goop.
That
Oh,
that does kind of seem up my alley, Holland.
Oh.
I can certainly ask around.
by all
Unless you
means, feel
think-
free, Tophin.
I mean, obviously this is your city, your contacts.
Right. You could reach a little farther than I can. I wouldn't consider myself the most proficient sleuth. I can get around, but
Fair enough. I will. I'll go ahead and start looking around then. If you guys need me.
no, I don't suppose so. If it's fine with you guys, I think I'm just gonna take maybe an hour and sleep in my own bed for a change.
Go for it.
Nice.
Oh man.
Jesus.
Guys, feel free to make yourselves at home. Maybe don't mess with too much of Masha's research. I know she's got most of the conjoint quarters shifted to what she needs, but please feel free to make yourselves at home. Feel free to crash here, pull up some bedrolls if need be. I could try and get you guys some other quarters too. That shouldn't be too difficult once I get a chance to talk to somebody, but oh,
I think the floor is fine.
of course.
Never done that.
I am.
Oh,
You go to the bathroom, there's nothing but a communal shower.
So you got a waffle stomping down the drain.
Oh.
What you saying?
Alright, so I guess I'm gonna go
Oh.
curl up on the floor like a peasant.
man. Now that Holland is kind of in his natural environment, he is going to just completely relax for the next hour. He taking off all my gear, taking off my arm for once. I've got a fancy little holder that I kind of put it in next to the bed. kind of a little stand. I put it there and just exist for the first time in a long time.
Well, back.
Be safe.
Always.
Around here, you should be relatively safe from Blood Lotus influence or intervention, but keep your ears out.
I'll be fine.
I know.
I will. Head out.
Where are you heading?
I would start at the place that we met Kosarias at. Somebody's usually willing to talk for the right price.
That's fair. Bars.
Okay.
And it looks gentle.
Back to the copper mode. Winter.
I can't say I've thought that far.
What the hell does that say?
So I would walk up to the bartender.
I'm doing it with the assumption the camera can't read it. But if
Can't.
Okay, good. Well, Chad doesn't know how to read. What do you mean?
Chad
like that.
doesn't know how to read.
They're like me. One brain cell, no English.
Walk to the bartender.
What else is going on in this room?
You walk in, you can see there are a couple people off in the corner that are playing a form of darts. You can see there are a couple of groups of maybe not so... They don't necessarily look very clean. They're covered in dirt and soot and oil. They look like they work in a mechanic shop. Trying to think of the best way to describe it, but there's a group that looks maybe a little more shady, kind of off in the distance. You can see them wearing the same kind of colors that Costa Rios was kind of dressed himself in, maybe perhaps members of the Blood Lotus gang. Besides that, a couple people at the bar enjoying drinks.
Go ahead and set bar somewhere away from other people where possible.
Large orc man approaches you. What are you having?
Whatever your finest is.
Called motor oil.
Cool. Alright.
I can speak for.
I was actually been around looking for someone. Tell me at all.
What you're looking for?
Jesus Christ. Jeez.
What's his phone?
Wallabingy.
Wallabingy. Heard of him.
No, I've never that guy.
Jesus, is this guy drunk on the job?
Yeah, he is.
Runs around, grabs a mug.
Fair enough.
Butter in there?
Are the
Nope.
guys dressed like Shrigas was?
Hard to tell from here. They all just got mugs. Ale,
It's
beer,
garbage.
same shit. Who knows? One of them does indeed hold a copper mug, though.
Specialty drink.
Copper mug.
4, please.
Just now hit me.
The
What?
3 at that table, right?
Yeah.
4 of those, please.
Comes over, sits down 2. Look at it. It's a clear-looking drink that has little like flecks of some sort of herb or something kind of laying on top of them.
Yep. Huh?
Sure.
Moscow Mule.
He's drunk.
Go ahead and carry these over.
As you approach, they gotta look up. Gotta do it for you.
Hello, gentlemen. On me? For an old friend, I was wondering.
Depends who it is.
Gentleman by the name of Wallabingi. God, that's so hard to say seriously.
Yeah, I didn't come up with that name by saying it out loud.
Jesus Christ. I hate you so much.
Yes. We just call him Wall.
That makes more sense. Kind of an unfortunate name.
Yes, it is. His mother must have hated him.
I can relate.
What are you looking for him for?
We're just old friends, and I'm finally back in town. Hoping to catch up.
Take it a sec.
When I'm done.
Ooh.
I have an inspiration, right? 8?
Yeah.
8.
8, sir.
8.
8, Sir Howland. We're not Howland. Damn.
Plus 9 is 14.
Nice.
17.
Strong half elf.
Many.
Well,
Would never be doors.
Any of us run around the
of
city.
course. Well, he's kind of moved up through the ranks. He's a bit of a big shot now.
Oh, really? Good for him.
Whoa. Old Wall works out of the distribution house. If you're a friend, you'll know where that is.
Fair enough. Guess I will make some time to go see him then.
Suppose you will.
Oh. He's in the fucking gang.
Pick up the mug. Thank you. Essentially. D&D Moscow.
Copper mug, yeah.
Did it take you that long?
No.
No.
Okay.
It took me a long time to realize that Matt probably named it that as Costa Rica and I's meet up because I always drink out of
Yeah.
copper mugs. It took me way too long to realize it.
It did take you a long time.
I was, yeah.
I was like, oh.
Where you heading?
I've got all the info. I do just want to explore the town for a bit. I'm not being followed before I head back.
Go make a perception check as you're meandering through the town.
I hit someone spirit.
Takes 11.
You don't see anyone following you.
This is fair. I was rolling like 30s.
And you rolled into bed.
Well, I'm gonna take my time, explore, see if there's anything interesting I can find, and then make my way back.
Hey, what?
To Holland's quarters.
Understood. Eventually you make it back to Holland's quarters.
I'm passed the fuck out. All 3 limbs just like sprawled out.
It's pretty.
Blank. Yes. Blankets like half over me as a pillow on the floor. Spud has gone into an oil coma. Passed out on the floor right next to my bed.
Arya's right.
You open the fridge. It is bare empty, minus
Like they've both been gone.
a few various moldy food. And for one instance, Arya doesn't know what a fridge is, so you just go to this random box on the other end of the room, Which is
no elf
a-
intuition.
which is a wondrous machine as you open it and you feel a blast of cold air, and you can see the whole back of it has a bunch of those little chilling orbs across the back.
I like this, guys.
Just just like get in and close the door.
Literally what happened. Good night.
It's like 2 in the afternoon. But
Yep.
Nothing.
am I back at this point?
Arya here. Swings open the fridge.
We're not in the fridge, it is too small.
Trying to say I'm fat.
No, I'm saying that this makeshift D&D version of a fridge is like a 2-foot by 2-foot cube.
It's a nice
Like a
box.
cooler.
Fine.
Well, I've got our information.
Going.
I'll have to ask Colin for that whenever he's up.
I'm getting up. Oh. Anything fruitful from your venture, Tophin?
Yeah,
You
quite a
have a
bit.
cold box.
I do have a cold box.
I like your cold box.
It is very nice.
No, ask Colin.
Because you just
We
put
can
it
get one while
outside.
we're here. What do you got, Tophin?
Friend's apparently quite a big shot now.
Surprise me.
You know where the distribution center is?
Yes, I do. And if Wall is there,
I mean,
he's either really running some substantial operations or we're walking right into a trap.
I like those odds.
Aren't they what we normally walk into?
Yeah.
I thought we walked in places to make.
the last.
If your
That's
definition of
definitely the
peace
second
is
one.
pasting them on the walls with your warhammer,
Yeah.
then yes, that's
The-
usually what we're really good at, Avaria.
The last warehouse we went into got busy.
Now, go to knowing your reputation with them.
When the sun is up, yes. I don't think they would do anything in broad daylight, but even the fact that I'm back might be a little bit dangerous, so we'll see.
Should we guys you or some way, or guys ourselves as you? Great confusion.
No, but
Colin's walking to a bar.
No, if we're dealing
He's
with
terrible
Wall,
at
then
it.
he's gonna know
no, but I was
exactly what I'm up to.
I was thinking if Black Lotus gang is responsible for framing me and Elytris. Blood Lotus, sorry. But I managed to get away. They know who I am.
Probably,
I would imagine so. Hmm.
but you appear to be the first people we deal with.
Tophin, it may be better if just you and I go. See Wall. No offense, Kelric, but the target on your back is definitely a bit bigger than mine.
And
And
you
I'm-
said this Wallabingi guy you did not leave on the best of terms?
No. The
Can you do that door thing more than once between you and him?
I can only do it.
that's fine between.
Maybe we hang out not so far away in
I
case things go tits up.
Theoretically, do it twice,
Yeah, sure. If
and I could take him with me.
you guys want to hang out outside the distribution center, that's fine. But dude,
Good call. Something fishy happened. I need.
It needs to be an animal sound. It will carry.
right.
That's your Akari bleeding through.
What do you mean? No. It's just-
Okay.
If she hits the fan, cluck like
if
a
I
bird.
remember the inside
Like
of the
a chicken.
distribution center correctly, I could probably put us in a position where I could have Spud outside the window watching things, and if things go wrong, he could let you guys know.
Oh.
No, but he sure can blare his alarm like nothing else.
That's a work.
Wee. That's
Oh,
that's
needs to be sound
$4.99
card.
DLC, man.
I will look at anything new in the sound index that may have been developed in the past year or so.
Let's go.
Might as well.
Sound like the
You want to
present.
grind
Tophin, before we go, I do recommend maybe putting on some more New Beginnings official attire just to blend in a little bit better with the town.
Here's some
Not much. You can
intros.
leave your armor on, but maybe just a shirt.
Gonna use my clothes. Exactly.
That works.
That's good.
You look quite good in that.
Perfect.
Shoot.
Yeah, because if we're only involved if shit hits the fan.
Okay.
It's gonna hit.
Probably, yeah. While the Bingy guy, trust him about as much as I trust his name.
Yeah, that's a fair assumption.
I mean, it's not going to matter. Things go tits up, I'm throwing a fireball in the warehouse.
I don't know if we're gonna be able to get away with that same. Shoot
things
first,
are going
ask
south.
questions later.
Fireball!
Pretty much.
That'll get
Ooh,
us
looks
out.
bad in there. Bat shit and sulfur. Yeet.
Well, if you two would like to be invisible while you wait, I can make that happen.
We'll have to hold hands or else we're gonna lose each other.
Now, let's go.
We're gonna hold hands the entire way.
Oh, this
Dion,
is
what
awkward.
time is it?
Whoops.
It is getting into early afternoon.
Hmm.
You have 3-ish
How's it?
hours till sundown.
So what time is it?
It is
Well, hold on. Let's start it logically. What time is sundown? Because you just said 3 hours away from sundown, right?
It is 3:24
Uh-huh.
and 10 seconds.
Sundown is at 6:20.
Yep, and 10 seconds. And how many milliseconds?
0.
Now it's 2.
Well, let's see. If everything goes as planned, as long as we still have sunlight, we should be able to get back here before dark. And we can have dinner.
We have 3 hours.
More or less.
Yeah.
It shouldn't take us that long to get there.
Yeah, warehouses burn pretty quick.
Anybody have any concerns? Besides the obvious?
I will
Keep an eye out as we walk, everyone.
put a glyph of fate on Holland.
Thanks, Caloric.
Wait a minute.
Okay, let's go, guys.
Oh wait, we did have a new day. I can roll new portents. Hell yeah!
A new day.
Well,
Yeah, from
Since we
last
started
session
playing
is-
today.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
we've long rested.
Yeah.
Mamma mia. Let's keep an eye out.
right.
I don't think I've followed, but never be too careful.
Of course. DM, can I make a perception check? Because we're kind of going down the streets just to keep an eye out for anything shady.
Go for it.
Sure.
Go for
Yeah.
it.
Roll with advantage. That's a perception 21.
Don't see anyone paying any attention to you.
Okay, good. It doesn't look like we're being
No one
followed.
paying any extra attention to you.
Right, yeah, we are kind of a sight to see in normal circumstances. Okay, what do we see on the way to the distribution center?
You pass by the various different small little shops and taverns that make up the way here in the Innovation Covenant. And eventually you pass back into one of those kind of side alleyways that makes those residential districts. And this one is now on
He's trying
the
so hard to keep going.
outside of the Neoteric Covenant. So it takes you a bit of time to meander your way through City of Zachary. Until you eventually come to the distribution center just outside the Neoteric Covenant. A very small, inconspicuous, almost like a 2-room building. You remember that it is one small room at the front that is maybe 10 foot by 10 foot that opens up into a larger 20 foot by 20 foot room.
Okay.
Oh, and your friend apparently just sense.
Yeah,
Because his name is quite awful.
it is quite,
Like, seriously, did his parents not say it out loud before they named him?
he's from the Lambingi clan, so they're all kind of cursed, I suppose. Anyway,
Oh shit.
When you say he, what race? are we
he's
talking?
he's a halfling.
Oh.
About tallish, blonde hair, very charismatic fellow.
Very cute.
Okay,
That name you got to be.
all right, let's get everybody in positions. Kellerick,
Give guys
Avaria,
high stats
where do
for
you
no
guys
reason.
want to be?
I
He's
figure we'll be over there
charismatic,
holding
isn't he?
hands and waiting for Spud to go haywire.
That sounds great. But I want you outside of this window, buddy.
I
You
didn't
got me?
know this guy existed
Give me a couple.
an hour ago. So
Okay, you ready, Tophin?
always.
All right, and I'll open the door to enter the distribution
Are we
center.
invisible?
Did you want to be invisible?
Are we invisible?
I did not make you invisible. We can do that before we go in.
Well,
Yeah.
we were kind of standing there holding hands, being awkward. If you don't make us invisible, it's gonna be really awkward.
Now
He's
wait
in
here.
a spell slot.
Wait here. Here for me if we.
But we're counting on you, buddy, if anything goes south in there. Okay. You ready, Topin? Okay. And we'll head in.
Preferably, I would like to not make them in this like in the middle
Oh,
of the
fuck.
street.
That is the wrong track.
Like, I would like
I'm
to
sick
like
and chains,
kind of like
just
pull off to the side and make them invisible, not just like walking through the main thoroughfare and then.
Yeah. Yeah, you're fine.
Vari, let's go in. Just kidding. Don't move. Come on. Stick to the plan.
You guys
time to
enter
go,
in.
isn't it?
And there's an elderly woman at the front desk. Looks up. Can I help you? Learn from my mistake.
Is Wall here?
Like, holds open a black book. And who's here to
Alan Brisby.
He's here. Expecting.
Oh, wonderful.
She like folds up a side of her desk here. Why can't I think? Goddamn. But eventually making a walkway towards the back for you.
Old Miggy's
Thank you.
soundtrack is villainous.
I'll kind of whisper over to Tophin. The odds of this being a trap are getting much higher than 50-50.
She opens up, kind of undoes a couple locks on the door and kind of swings it
While she's
open.
doing this stuff.
Make a sleight of hand check.
Do it, Topin.
Fucking shit balls. 16.
I mean, what are you saying?
Great.
Topin thinks
Feet
it's
towards the door.
Topin thinks it's not working. Let's go.
Happily.
As you guys get in, you can see them passing through into the next, and the old lady is. As she shuts the door, you watch her wave a few arcane sigils through.
Oh, ho ass shit! Fucking
Smash your skull in with a warhammer!
And you would know this spell well as
Arcane
Arcane Lock.
Yeah,
Warhammer?
I think I have knock.
Warhammer?
Yeah, fucking.
Wait.
No, kidding. Wait till it actually goes tits up.
Oh, okay, I was like, ready?
You enter into
Christ, I did
a,
not say go.
Or should I counterspell it? Probably too late for that.
as you enter into the room,
Move if you counterspell it.
there is like a large upper deck,
And then she
and
goes
it kind of looks, and as you look, there are maybe 15 people standing around a railing looking down at you. There's a large wooden chair on the opposite end, surrounded by a bunch of crates. A quick scan of the room above, you see Kosrias is in the group.
Wait, hold the fuck.
Birthday party!
He's undercover.
I kill him first.
It's a birthday party!
I'm ignoring all of
And
them.
you
and
see
murdering
Walt-
Kosrias.
You see Wall look up. It's been a long time.
It has, Wall. It's, I
Please address me by my full name.
appreciate the full audience for this meeting. Any particular reason?
Well, you made it just. You wanted to make such a grand entrance back into town. Thought we'd bring the whole gang together to give you a proper Blood Lotus welcome.
Oh, that's so kind of you.
And you watched, like, quick glance, 5 or 6 guys pull pistols out from underneath their sides.
Listen,
And they're just kind of like leaning forward with them over the railing.
we would like everyone to make it out of this alive.
I'm actually here to perhaps help the Blood Lotus gang a little bit. Maybe help clear their name on a certain thing that's maybe been stolen in the past year or so.
No one connects us to anything.
My sources would tell me that some of your men have been spotted, or were spotted, stealing something from the Innovation Covenant headquarters the same night that the clock tower went kaboom. I know that you guys weren't involved in the clock tower, and
What? Not good enough for it?
not your style. I... Obviously, whatever you stole probably wasn't right to do, but I can't say I'm really concerned about that right now. I've got much more important things on my plate, and I just want to know what is going on. That's all.
Is that all, huh?
That's all.
Then let us have a toast in good faith. And he flicks you one of the little vials. Takes one himself, pops the top. He watches, he sticks it up to his nose, and he inhales it. And as he inhales it, the veins across his face begin to grow a bright azure blue. And his eyes come out, they look, and there's like a glowing blue light coming from his eyes.
Thanks for the
A
offer.
riveting feeling.
Thank you, but I'll pass. I'm on business.
You watch, hands kind of like, a little bit of lightning trickles off his fingers. I insist.
Now,
There's a whole program in schools in
I
Zachara
do-
that teaches people not to.
I think for my speed. So, if you don't mind, Holland.
Would it be rude if I had my associate take this instead of myself?
If you don't think you're man enough.
Well, I suppose I'm only 3/4 the man I could be anyway.
Warning.
Never appeal to
There
a
you go,
twink's
Toby.
sense of
The
masculinity.
thrill of the power is addicting. As you inhale it, and you at least can watch the same effect kind of overtake Tophin, you feel a surge of arcane energy like pulse through your body. Your next spell is instantly cast at max level.
Wow. Holy shit.
Jesus.
At the cost of 1 level of exhaustion.
And I carry around those all the time.
And we'll see how you do with your addiction.
I'm feeding for another one, guys.
Felt
Poison. This is an arcane drug.
very nice.
What's the lady at the desk doing now that she's locked the door?
Flipping through this black book.
Oh my god, you don't even
Can
give a fuck.
I go see what's in the book? Can I see? Can like look over?
You little peep.
Yeah.
Make a perception check. Actually,
At-
make a
at
stealth check.
At advantage, he's invincible.
Make a stealth check at advantage because you
Thank
are.
you.
You shut your mouth.
Thanks, ma'am. 19.
As she's flipping through the book, what language can you read?
Oh, common infernal orc, Xenocrat.
In Xenocrat.
Okay.
I just wanted to make you say it.
Great. Thanks.
As you're reading it, it is a list of names. There are jobs listed next to each one, and different gold piece values for what each person owes.
Does she pass over Hollins?
You want to take the time to continue looking?
I
Might
mean,
find it.
at the moment, I'm just kind of
At the
backseat
moment-
reading.
At the moment, no.
With debt. Never mind. Don't tell me. Owe them money. You owe money to the mob. Anyway,
And as he looks at each of you, and his hands kind of crackling with lightning, tell me, what is it that you think you know about our humble organization?
I don't really feel obligated to tell you what I think I know, Wall. I've been around long
Hear a
enough.
couple clicks of like the random hammers from around the room, and you guys are like taking a quick look as you like glance over. You can see like a worried look go across Kosrias's face, but he just stares at you and gives you like a small wink.
No need to get hasty, fellas. Well, look. I'm really just trying to work something out here. Whatever you guys were doing was probably wrong, but I'm willing to let that slide.
Oh, you're willing to let it slide, are you? Like you
Yes,
have some sort of authority over this.
You would be amazed how much, how would I word it? Circumstantial authority I've had on the world around me, the past year or so. But anyway, I just want to know what you guys took. That's all.
Is that a threat?
No. And
I don't know, boys. Did that sound like a threat? And you hear them all like start chiming in and answering.
Can we hear anything?
I pull out
through
a
the
sack of
door?
100 gold and kind of hang it over my head.
Matt, can we hear anything through the doorway? Or the door, I should say?
What's your passive perception?
I don't know my passive. I go looking for my passive perception. It's a big 12?
You're not. You probably can. You can.
What? You're in shit.
I'm right behind her. Shut the fuck up.
You see, you're like. Heard something.
Shut the fuck up.
Spud is looking outside
You're
the window,
invisible,
just
not
very
silent.
concerned.
Matt. When she goes back to the book, I'm gonna pull a Harbinger's Call and just
Are you gonna fucking of mice and men this old lady?
plant it at the barrel near the base of her skull,
Look at the rabbits, Lane.
and just hold. Look at the book. 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 Look at the book.
Holy shit! You're about to have mice and men and a whole woman.
Okay.
I'm just waiting to see if shit hits the fan. This lady's getting it. She cast Arcane Lock. That's a fucking big. That's a pretty big spell, I think.
Second level.
Yeah. Well, second level
You're
spell's not good.
still about to have mice and men and old lady.
You're damn fucking right. Get on with it, boys.
Oh, man.
Resolve this meeting or
I'm-
she dies.
I'm hanging 100 gold above my head.
Make
I'm willing to pay for this.
a persuasion check.
I think the gold in my hand.
That's the only reason you're getting the check.
Let's see. Ah, shit. That's a
Brother.
persuasion. That's 10.
No, I think we'll just take it. And you watch his hand reaches out and he unleashes a bolt of lightning. I need you both to make a dexterity saving throw.
Counterspell.
Go ahead and roll for it. It's a 6th level chain lightning.
Oh my god. Roll my dex check just in case.
20.
See ya.
What'd you roll? 15? Damn.
So I
His
don't hear
spell-
lightning.
His spell fizzles in his hand, and you see his ace instantly go mad. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
I'm gonna have to hold this for a whole 2 weeks. This lady's getting it.
This lady's getting
gonna-
it.
The base
About
of her
to
skull.
murder an old woman.
Who cast Arcane Lock, alright? She ain't
Okay, she still probably only has like 11 hit points.
Well, she's lived a
She,
long life.
she has, she has 3 levels in wizard, and that's it.
She's lived a long life. She'll be fine. Not like she's got a family to go back to or anything.
Holy baby.
Maybe she's not a single grandmother taking care of her daughter's child.
Guys, we were a little chaotic tonight. Thank you for those of us that joined. Thank you for those that tuned in.
One inspiration got used by Tophin.
I know.
I didn't need any of my inspirations. I didn't roll a single dice.
That's fine.
So sad.
You guys have a good evening. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.
See you next time, chat.
Bye, guys.